We've restarted everything. Hopefully now our play area camera will cooperate with us and we can watch the rest of the Magic. So, okay, so Tony's on the play this game, which says to me that he lost that first game to Brandon then.
Mm-hmm. And Brandon's on a mulligan to 6, and
no, there's 7.
No, excuse me. He has his land stack. Yeah. But Tony will be at 13 from the Thoughtseize and Lantern Waste.
17. And a Spellskite there from Tony. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, Brandon's going to be on a very slow clock if all he can do is hit with his Ink Moth.
Right, and he's just going to pass the turn back here. I sort of like firing up and attacking, although I guess this represents Spell Pierce for Bridge, but Tony has a Pithing Needle in hand critically, and
yeah, the Pithing Needle is going to do a lot of work. And it looks like we might be frozen again. We're
still having these difficulties. So the Pithing Needle, Tony will attempt to play it. He has a land in hand, and I'm not sure I like not playing around Spell Pierce here.
Right. You're under no pressure, and you really have all the time in the world.
Yeah, and so now Tony's going to play a Ghoul Caller's Bell and another land. Sort of the shame land that you play after you've, after things have gone badly for you.
Yeah, the not playing the land almost makes me feel like Tony wanted to get the Spell Pierce out of hand. But that doesn't seem like it was the case.
Oh, yeah, wait, because he knew about it from the Thoughtseize.
Right, he knew about
it. Maybe that is the case then. I feel like that's a much more rational explanation for why you would, run your potentially game-winning artifact into that. But here's a Noble Hierarch now. Mm-hmm. Again, this gets walled out by the Spellskite, but now that Ink Moth can really fire up.
Mm-hmm.
And animate and attack for 2. So Tony's on a clock here, and he really has to come up with a way to stop it. He does have a bridge.
Right. So the bridge will not be good for a while. Tony's not quite close enough to going Hellbent. Although, if Tony chooses to find nothing here, he can actually go Hellbent.
Right, but I think he's just going to find another Spellskite.
Okay. Yeah, just with the context of Brandon's hand, he knows he's probably good for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. Like, Brandon, we see here, does have a Pendelhaven, so he can make the Ink Moth a 3-power creature in attack. Mm-hmm. But this is only going to get him halfway there.
Right. So this is going to put Tony to 5, and
but Tony, the bridge is coming down, right?
Tony can put down the bridge, and then this is going to put a halt to a lot of this nonsense.
Yeah, and he has the ability to go Hellbent here. So now.
Now the grind starts.
Now we wait.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, if Brandon finds a Nature's Claim, he can blow up the bridge and almost immediately kill Tony.
No, because there's 2 Spellskites.
Oh, I guess, okay, so he can blow up the bridge and not immediately kill Tony, but obviously blowing up the bridge is the dream.
Mm-hmm. So one thing I would like to see Brandon start doing is attacking with the Noble Hierarch.
Agree, threatening to pump it.
Threatening the...
Well, the problem is then your Noble Hierarch can die.
What's it dying to, though?
The Spellskites.
Like
I guess if you don't pump, sure. But like, what are you by attacking like that? What are you doing?
You're threatening a Blossoming Defense.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Oh, I guess Blossoming Defense isn't even enough because you can't Pendelhaven.
Can't Pendelhaven the Spellskite.
The Noble Hierarch.
Yeah, the Noble Hierarch. Yeah. Okay. And so we see, unfortunately, Tony milling one of Brandon's Nature's Claims with his Ghoul Caller's Bell. So now. Looking at a hand, Spell Pierce, Blossoming Defense, Might of Old Krosa, Mutagenic, Become Immense. It just doesn't do anything.
Right. Brandon is actually drawing pretty thin here.
He has to draw Nature's Claim.
It's very likely that he also has a Viridian Corruptor.
Yeah. Okay. But again, he has no card selection. He is on the top of his deck and only on the top of his deck. Tony now looking for a Lantern. Will Thoughtseize again. I believe that's the 3rd Thoughtseize that's gone in.
Yeah, so Tony should be somewhere in a round of 13.
Yeah. Oh, and here Brandon... Oh, but he'll go back up to 17 here. Brandon did find the Nature's Claim and... Wait. Was that the... Yeah.
That's a Nature's Claim, and Tony did redirect...
He did redirect to one of his Spellskites. Oof. And I think he tapped a Mox Opal to do it, too.
Right.
So, Brandon now has to draw 2 more Nature's Claims. Tony's thoughts he's going to take the Become Immense.
Yeah, and Tony down to...
15. Because he gained 4 from the claim.
Right, but then took another 2 from the Thoughtseize.
Oh, so he's back to 13?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So untap here for Tony. All he really needs to do is find Lantern of Insight, correct?
He needs to find a lantern or
Oh my
if
gosh.
there's another spell or an academy rune.
Yeah.
I-
So
Yeah, Tony's starting the milling plan already, and this in part just makes draw steps into Academy Room much better.
yeah.
Ooh, so Brandon did have the second blossoming defense. With that being the case, I do
You
like
do like attacking.
attacking. That could have killed one of the spell skies.
Right, and that's it. But that's a big deal. One thing that is nice about this is that Tony is a pretty experienced pilot with the deck. So his pace of play is pretty fast.
Right. Against Infect, not
Not the
terribly
most relevant,
important,
but
but it is also always good to see. All right, so Tony's gonna sack the Codex Shredder to get back Lantern, and once we have this Lantern online, the game is almost certainly out of reach.
yeah, absolutely. The bridge, the lantern, the lock pieces, they're all here with the double spellskite.
With double Spellskite and 2 millstones, it's very unlikely that
There's
Brandon's going to
3
be able to draw.
millstones now too.
Oh, you're right. It's just very unlikely Brandon's going to draw another relevant spell for the rest of the game. The Noble Hierarch, though, can be very relevant because in
Yeah.
multiples,
I'm not sure letting him draw that was right.
here I really love an attack from Brandon. He
Yeah.
he needs to utilize
to do
his blossoming
something.
defense as well. They're so good.
Agreed.
And I'm not sure if he realizes that like he just has free attacks because like a blossoming defense right now just kills.
Just kills
a spell sky.
Right, and so then, right, and Tony is at 13 life, so like he is under some small amount of pressure here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, so and Brandon, I really, the next, not attacking here is something that I'm like you, Dan. I'm really not a fan of. Also, Brandon is going to should have discarded last turn. I believe he has 8 cards on up to the left here. Hopefully they will notice.
Yeah, I think we're at the point where it just does no longer matters.
Yeah, no longer matters. Sure. Yeah, and this is all right. So yeah, Tony on the big time mill plan here.
I just with an Academy Ruins and double spell sky, he just has so much protection.
Yeah,
And there's just not a whole lot that Brandon can even have. I mean, short of having something like
Creeping
Back to
Corrosion.
Nature or something.
Back to Nature hits enchantments. Creeping
Oh,
Corrosion.
Creeping Corrosion. Excuse me.
Yeah, and he's gonna scoop it up. Okay.
I think Brandon definitely still had a little bit of play there if he had just attacked with the Noble Hierarchs. Don't forget, it attacks as a 2/3, and with the Blossoming Defense, that's a 4/5.
Right. I mean, I guess the problem is with the Academy runes. Tony just has infinite spell skies.
Yeah,
right?
with the Academy, you're just not getting anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. So, Brandon, I mean, Tony obviously just doing what Lantern's supposed to do. Primary game plan. Pretty quick lockup.
The backbreaking play there really was the turn 1 Thoughtseize to take your only Infect creature.
Right. The having the what do you say? Having the Glistener Elf I think Brandon would have been able to almost kill him, if not kill him completely.
Oh right, I mean, Brandon I think had like a turn 3 hand.
Yeah,
So-
and Tony had a turn 4 bridge, so
Right.
I mean, with the Spellskite, obviously it improves a little bit for Tony, but still, it's not good.
Yeah, and we're gonna see Brandon on the play here, which should be a
Pretty big advantage for
pretty
Infect.
big. You're guaranteed to be able to just run out the Glistener Elf, and we got a good look at like what Tony's deck looked like.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like he had anything like
Removal.
Knight of Souls Betrayal.
I haven't seen Abrupt Decay either.
Mm-hmm.
Knight of Souls Betrayal. A card.
Right. This is the
Oh, it's not. It's not Knight. It's just. Oh, it's Souls plural. Okay. All right, Magic Cards info. Your search function's killing me here. All right, cool. Yeah, Knight of Souls Betrayal. All creatures get -1/-1. Yeah. So it turns out when this card's in play, they have to have a Viridian Corruptor or they lose.
they can also kill you with Spellskite, but or
Sure.
yeah, but I mean it's unlikely Brandon even has Spellskites left in his main.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're just gonna slow you down. You bring in the Corruptor and all your stuff. Hand here for Tony, looking like a Academy Ruins, Spellskite, and I think it's an Abrupt Decay, Mox Opal. I think double Spellskite, but no colored source, and he's gonna have to mull this hand. Very, very close to being an absurd hand for him.
Yeah, just Spellskite alone is quite a beating.
Yeah, absolutely. It blocks forever if they have a Glistener Elf, and it just eats all their pumps. So, other than of course Blossoming Defense.
Although let's not forget, it is only 4 blocks.
Sure, that's true. That's true.
Which in the context of that, can be effectively forever.
Four blocks is a lot of time to do all the things that Lantern does to find a bridge.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
It's weird, yeah, because Lantern, it won GP Oklahoma City last year. Really sort of took off, and people stopped. Or maybe didn't win GP OK. It won a GP, though.
Yeah, it top 8'd GP OKC, which was the first time it had done well.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, he ran into Burn and got thoroughly just demolished.
I mean, such is Burn. Dark Slick Shores here for Tony. This tells me that Tony is playing the Glintnest Crane version.
Alright, so we're looking at Thoughtseize.
Oh wow, Brandon didn't keep an Infector.
So this is going to be pretty rough here. Brandon's on Blossoming Defense, Mind of Oath Crows. These cards don't do anything.
I think he's hoping to kill Tony with normal damage.
That's awfully ambitious.
I don't disagree with you. Infect is a deck that works because your opponent is at and I think that might have been
that is an Ink Moth.
Okay. So that's not the worst.
Right, and
Pithing Needle though.
So this has to be pierced here. And I'm surprised that Tony is just running these cards into the pierce. He only has to wait one more turn before he can resolve the pierce under that. And it's not like he's going to die this turn.
He's not dead this turn. There's no kill unless Brandon has actually there's just no kill. Okay, so this though is going to be some damage. This will be 2.
This is currently 2 and can potentially be as much as 6.
Right. It looks like it's just going to be 2 though. So Brandon sort of waiting for that crucial just kill you with everything turn, but I sort of like getting the damage in.
I kind of like pumping that way because next turn, if you next turn you can attack with both Ink Moths, and if you draw
a land.
Well, he has another land in hand, so if you draw anything, you can be able to attack through it.
Okay, so Tony with cards in hand, which means that the Ink Moths do get to attack. But we're rapidly again approaching the window where that is no longer the case.
Right, Tony only with 2 cards in hand, and this can represent a good amount of damage.
Yeah. So if Brandon has a +4/+4 spell here, it's gonna be 6 damage from Infectors, which will take Tony to 8. And then if Tony can't play out his last 2 cards, then he will just die the next turn.
Well, don't forget, Brandon has a Mutagenic and Blossoming Defense. So that's 6 by itself. So Brandon's really only looking for 2 more damage.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it depends on what's under what the face down card is.
Right.
If the face down card is any pump spell.
If it's a Mutagenic or Become Immense, he just wins on the spot.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll see here. But Brandon will animate.
All right. Tony just Tony is
stone
F6
cold.
Too.
Yeah. So attack triggers. And Brandon is going to Mutagenic, it looks like.
Okay, so that's currently 4.
Yep. And Brandon will fall to 15 to do so. It looks like that's going to be all, and Tony will go to 6 poison.
Okay.
The thing is if Tony dumps his whole hand here, Brandon is out of luck. And there's a Spellskite. The reason I liked pumping earlier is the worry that Tony would find a Spellskite.
Right, and fortunately Brandon kept the Blossoming Defense.
Right, so I guess he does have the kill here then?
Yeah, I mean, unless Tony can go Hellbent here.
Right, which if he, with this Ancient Stirrings, doesn't seem like he's going to unless he fails to find, but I just don't think that's likely.
So it depends on what Tony's second card is, right? If it's a land, he can just go land Spellskite. It looks like it was not a land, so if it's a 1-drop, he can dump his hand.
Right, and that's, sort of what he's hoping for here. He will...
You're certainly priced into playing the Spellskite.
Absolutely.
Oh, actually,
yeah, he's reading this now and realizing...
Actually, the Spellskite doesn't even matter. You're just dead.
You're dead if you don't dump your hand.
Yeah.
What is that other card? It's a Spellskite and a something.
Yeah, it's unclear what the second card is. It's obviously not Lantern or something obvious, or it can't be a 1-drop, right? If it's a 1-drop, Tony just dumps his hand.
It's Collective Brutality. Discarding Spellskite.
Yes. This
So
is the only play he has.
kill your hierarch. Look at your hand.
Yes.
So in this case, it's almost always right to defense your hierarch, or to.
Ooh, and Brandon Nature's claims in response, and then we're pretty much done here then.
Tony, Hellbent, no bridge, so Brandon just gets to attack for 2 infect twice.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit confused why he didn't save the Noble Hierarch.
Right, because Brandon could have also dumped his hand.
Brandon could have just cast the Blooming Marsh.
Blossoming Defense.
Blossoming Defense, excuse me.
All right, and Brandon doesn't matter, though, because he has another hierarch here. This will be another swing for 2. Tony will go up to 8 Infect and has exactly 1 turn to draw out.
Mm-hmm. He needs to draw a bridge exactly now.
Oh, and it's a Mox Opal.
Yeah, and he was...
So, wait, well, okay, yeah, no, he's 1 draw step away, right? Because this turn he can put hierarch on top.
He can put spell.
He can put or spell skite.
I would put bridge on top.
You put bridge on top.
Yeah, definitely put bridge.
All right, but that's gonna do it. Brandon Salgado gonna get it 2 games to 1 over Tony Skripchek. Infect taking down Lantern Control. If you're just joining us, thanks for coming out tonight, everybody. We had some technical problems earlier in the stream. We managed to resolve them, though, and they doesn't seem like they're going to return, knock on wood, as I knock on the floor over here. So, yeah, we'll have 4 rounds of Modern tonight, and hopefully almost assuredly, Dan will be able to get us another match for this one. The Nature's Claim and response to the collective brutality is very good, but I also I agree with Dan that Brandon not saving his hierarch, because why not? Like, you're going to lose the card anyway to brutality. And also, when he had double hierarch or even single hierarch in the previous game, not attacking, maybe just shows a little bit of unfamiliarity with the matchup. I mean, obviously he knows what he's boarding in. He sees some Spell Pierces, a Twisted Image, Viridian Corruptor, triple Nature's Claim, of course. And yeah, so interesting play. This matchup is weird. And Tony showing a gear per Aether Grid card from Origins, which has seen some play in Affinity as well as a sideboard card. This card is crazy with Lantern. Like, you just sometimes, you have a lot of artifacts that aren't, you don't normally tap, like your Ensnaring Bridge or something, right? So you can tap your Ensnaring Bridges. You can tap, if you're not using your Mill Rocks, you can also tap your Lantern. And gear per Aether Grid, really, really good against Infect because it just guns down their creatures one after another. So, interesting piece of tech there from Tony. We see him bringing in some Spell Skites and stuff against the Infect deck. But unfortunately for Lantern, not going to get there tonight. Not going to get there in this match. It's obviously also one of it's not a great matchup for them. And Brandon showing what he took out, some Vines of the Vastwood, a Dismember, a couple Probes. I actually and a Rancor. I sort of like the Rancor because it might let you, if you resolve it before Lantern has a Spellskite, you can, like, trample over if you have any way to pump your guy. I also don't mind Vines of the Vastwood because at some point in the game you're going to have to make a... Oh, wait. No, wait. Vines of the Vastwood doesn't work like that, does it? Vines of Vastwood. Can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponent can draw. Vines of Vastwooding, their spell skite doesn't actually work unless you want to stop it from getting pumped. But like it still won't do. It won't do what you think what you think it should do. They can still redirect to the spell skite. Or maybe they can't. Actually, that's an interesting interaction I'll have to ask a judge about. All right, so these players are going to pack it up, and we should be getting new players on the table in just a moment. Yes, we have another match. Okay, did not recognize that person. And I also... Is that Martin? Maybe it's Isaac. Is this Isaac?
No, this is Shay. He's going to be playing against...
Shay versus...
Skred.
It's Skred on the right?
It is Skred.
All right, so on the left... we are going to have Shay Alexander, shop regular, place Kiki-cord. He's going to be going up against Rodrigo Franco, who is, according to Dan, playing Skred. What's the game count here?
This is going to be game 3 here.
Oh, wow. So the first 2 games went pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. So the thing, right? So this is Kiki-cord versus Infect, or not versus Skred, right? Blood Moon's pretty good against Cord most of the time, right?
Yeah, Blood Moon is quite good.
Cord looking to cast a lot of things.
Well, it's easy to forget, but Cord has a triple green requirement, and usually it doesn't matter. But there are times where it's like, you look down and it was like, wow, this is I have like 6 or 7 permanents in play, but this is still uncastable.
That's unfortunate. Mm-hmm. That is an unfortunate place to be. So yeah, Shay is, plays pretty much consistently only plays Cord. He's played like Enchantress a couple times, but it's mostly just Cord. And I actually don't know Rodrigo. Right. But Skred always a good deck to sort of like have someone who plays it semi-regularly because it keeps people from getting out of hand with ludicrous mana bases and things. Right. Blood Moon, very, very real card in Modern still. I mean, we just saw, right, the last Modern GP taken down by none other than a Skred deck.
Right, which was a surprise to say the least.
Hey man, when you're in a field with a lot of dredge, like multiple Anger of the Gods is pretty good. Alright, so looking at Shay's hand, he's got, I think those are Chord of Callings? 2 Chord of Callings, what looks like a Revel Arc and some lands? It's a bunch of lands, a Revel Arc. 2 Voice of Resurgence.
All right, double Voice of Resurgence, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean the thing is with Voice of Resurgence, which is like somewhat of a liability against Skred, is when they're playing like 4 main deck Anger, your voices are somewhat bad.
Right, but
that being said, it does let you beat down.
Right, and to be fair, your entire deck is bad against Anger except Wall of Roots.
Yeah, Wall of Roots and like Resto.
Yeah, pretty much everything else is pretty soft against Anger of the Gods.
Do we know who's on the play this game?
Not certain yet.
Okay. Land, Scrying Sheets, Pia Kirin, Stormbreath Dragon, land. I mean, curve out. Yep. Curve out. And yeah, looks like Rodrigo will keep. He'll scry to the top, and Shay will start it off with a Windswept Heath.
And that looks like an energy counter from Shay's side.
What does Shay have in his deck that could possibly use energy, Dan?
I'm just saying that is very distinctly an energy
What does he
counter.
have in his deck, though? Right? Like, what could it be? There's got to be a...
There could be... Yeah, I've got nothing.
Okay, like, you really... Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know, like, what's... Okay, so Shay draws a Cord.
All right.
Good draw. Pretty good card in the deck. And Shay conforming with
streaming standards.
with streaming standards, lands behind your spells.
Yep. And short of a turn 1 birds, this is your ideal.
This is your best play. Yeah. A bolt here from Rodrigo. Probably not what you want to be doing to the Voice of Resurgence.
No, it really isn't. But if you are going to bolt, you should bolt now.
Yes, because it's your turn. Oh, well, he's not going to bolt. That's fine. I mean, bolting the voice never feels good. Shay with another draw here. Looks like he's found another land, but he's got, like, lots of things going on in his hand. He's got a Cord, most importantly.
Right.
The first thing is beatdown.
And looks like Shay is aware of, the threat of Blood Moon, notably fetching a basic.
Yeah, fetching basics in this deck, not always good, but this time it was. And we'll go with another voice here. And this is a very real clock, right? Like, you don't want to let these voices live. Like, if an Anger here would be insane, though.
An Anger would be quite good, but
there's not.
Right, and this is one of the problems with the Skred deck.
Is sometimes you just don't.
Sometimes you get really depend on stuff like Relic of Progenitus to help curve you out.
And Shay draws a Rex Sage, which is quite good here. He'll attack for 4. Next turn, there is a Koth coming.
Yeah, I mean, the Koth just can't race the current clock, right?
I guess not. Also an Eternal Scourge drawn here for Rodrigo.
And, Pia and Kieran are quite good here.
Yeah, I mean, this makes chump blockers able to deal with the voice a little bit.
Right. Shay does have access to Cord for 3. Get Orzhov Pontiff to clear this out.
I can't believe you said Pontiff with a straight face, Dan.
This is quite good. So he potentially has access up to Cord for 4 if he plays a land in his next turn.
Right. Now here, what do you... Yeah, like, what is sort of... If you want to keep beating down... Because, like, obviously Skred has... If they didn't play Anger, they've got something, right? Like, they've got a Stormbreath Dragon, which is hard to deal with, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's much less likely that you're going to see Anger here.
on this because there's a Kiki-cord.
Because it's a pink here. And with a Revelark in hand, this polarizes your hand into doing two things. First thing is you could play the Rex Sage and kill one of the Thopters.
Right.
Alternatively, you could make this attack and hope Rodrigo double blocks. If he double blocks and you go land Revelark, all of a sudden you have a clock that is very difficult to deal with.
Right. Rodrigo does have a Stormbreath Dragon in hand, but I don't know if he has a 5th land. So Rodrigo, thinking about blocks, he does have a 5th land. If he does want the dragon.
So this attack is trying to induce the double block.
Of course.
The double block, funny enough, would not change the power and toughness on Shay's side of the board.
Right, because the token would just be a 2/2.
Right.
And the question is, does Rodrigo want to fall to 10? And he does not. It looks like he's going to be double blocking.
Okay. And let's not forget.
Oh, wait. He might trade the whole Kiki-cord.
Right. Let's not forget. This is a very scary play to make. If Shay says okay, goes to damage and then plays a red source and then peeing Kieran Nalar, all of a sudden you have two 5/5s to contend with.
Right. And Rodrigo I think decides we're not going to do this. Goes to 10.
Okay. So
Shay has another land, and Shay also has a Rex Sage in hand, so Rodrigo's any Blood Moon sort of thing now is just way too late.
And Shay also, if Rodrigo tries to kill these voices with Thopters, he can always go Cord for Spellskite and redirect.
Right, absolutely. So this is going to be a Koth of the Hammer.
Okay.
We'll pull it up on the right side here.
Shay can respond with a Cord for Phyrexian Revoker, not this turn, but the turn after.
Why not this turn?
He only Cord for 2.
Isn't it Revoker's a 2-drop?
Revoker is a 2-drop. Yeah, so Shay didn't have the Revokers in his board, or chose not to take the line.
Okay, so Koth here going to make a 4/4 that attacks Shay. Now thinking about doing something. Mm-hmm. We'll see what it is. You've got to wonder, though, if Shay doesn't use his mana at all, it looks like he is just going to go to 16 and take this. If he doesn't use his mana, it feels like he's just, basically time-walked himself, right? Because he didn't do anything last turn, and he hasn't done anything now.
Yeah, and I mean, this doesn't get better for Shay.
No.
He is really incentivized to use his mana, especially because he has a Revelark in hand, and really just wants to start trading.
Yeah. The problem here for Shay is that this, the Koth emblem is really good. Mm-hmm. The Koth emblem is a very quick clock when there's this many mountains on the battlefield. So he either has to deal with the Koth somehow, or
Yeah, but with Rodrigo effectively tapped out here, if Shay corded for a Pontiff, he could clear the board and then really threaten the Koth.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, I'm not sure what the play is going to be here. He has the Revelark and he has the Cord, and I'm assuming he's going to have to do one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First an attack, and I think they're just going at Rodrigo, right? I mean, I can't tell. It looks like they're both going to get blocked though. Rodrigo looking at his hand. The thing is now because there's two voices, if Rodrigo bolts anything, it's you're in trouble now.
Yeah, and Rodrigo needs to remember this. And this is something that a lot of players will forget.
Is that all the tokens?
Right.
All right, so that'll be a token.
Yes, and so yeah, if I was on Shay's side, if I had a Phyrexian Revoker, I definitely would have corded in response.
I agree.
For the Koth, because that also meant that you would not be able to. Rodrigo was tapped down low enough that he couldn't shoot it down with a
Kieran.
Shay's now just probably going to jam the
Revelark, yeah.
So this guarantees that Shay will be able to get some value off of it. Short of Rodrigo,
angering.
No, even with anger, Revelark is leave the battlefield trigger.
I'm not sure, but I thought it goes to a graveyard.
No, it is
leave the battlefield. Okay.
This is
okay, so there's value here.
This is very good with Restoration Angels. This is very good with Kiki-cord.
Yes, that's true. That is all true. The thing is now is that Rodrigo can play a Stormbreath Dragon, animate the land, swing for 4. I guess maybe trade with the Revelark, but he can also defend the Koth pretty well. Shay's gonna now have to take some time off to attack the Koth and prevent it from ulting. Mm-hmm. Or just beat down and hope he kills Rodrigo. But
right.
So I don't know. This Stormbreath Dragon's pretty real.
Yeah. So the big thing with the Stormbreath Dragon, because of the pro white clause, you can't even cord for a Fiend Hunter to deal with this.
Former standard All-Star.
Right. this is
Woo!
this is going to actually present quite a bit of problem for Rodrigo, for Shay, because the Koth ult is going to be pretty real here. Rodrigo also considering whether or not he wants to fire off this bolt now.
Kill the other voice.
If he fires off the bolt, he kills. He can kill the Revelark, and then that just gets the voice back.
Right.
And I would rather have a 2/2 on the ground than a 4/3 in the air.
Agreed. I mean, that being said, I do think if he kills it, the Koth. I mean, I think the Koth is just dead now, though.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by this attack, to be perfectly honest.
I think he's just trying to race him down with the Storm Breath. Oh, Rodrigo gonna make mana. Makes 5 mana and plays an Eternal Scourge? Can't tell from the glare. I feel like it's an Eternal Scourge. And he'll bolt the voice. Oh, he'll bolt the token. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if we could pull that card up.
Yeah, Eternal Scourge is a 3/3. That can, whenever it's a target of something, it goes to it exiles itself, and then you can cast it from exile. So that's pretty good. This, doing this does take the Koth pressure off, but now there's like the Storm Breath pressure, which is very real.
Yeah, so Shay can again, he can just play the Rex Sage and just straight up just kill the Thopter and just attack with the Revelark and clear the
Koth out.
Clear the Koth. The Rex Sage will also give you good blocks against the Eternal Scourge.
Yeah.
Because you can double block with both the voice and the.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Rodrigo doesn't have is he doesn't have a Relic of Progenitus, which would allow him to exile the Eternal Scourge from his graveyard back into exile.
Shay just has Cord for 5 here.
What do you get with 5, Dan?
You get Kiki-cord.
And copy.
And that's a Revelark, not a Restoration Angel.
Yeah.
I got a little bit ahead of myself here. So Shay does have another land in hand.
He's got a 3-drop here. Yeah, I think he's going to kill this Thopter.
Right. So next turn he can go up the chain, and Cord for Eternal Witness, Cord for
of course, yeah.
Cord for Resto.
And there's an attack on the Koth. Gonna take it down. The problem here though is like this Storm Breath Dragon is pressure, and I don't know. Are there any non-white flyers in the deck?
Yes, P and K.
You're right. Okay, so he needs to get those out there, because also like, wait, if Rodrigo has a land, I think he can ult the Storm Breath Dragon.
Yes, and that will not quite kill Shay,
but it'll be dang close.
It will end up doing a total of 9. But then Shay can go shields up next turn
with the P and K.
With the P and K, yes.
Yeah. Looking like another Koth here for Rodrigo. He's counting his lands. So the question is whether he wants to monstrous the Storm Breath or.
Yeah. So Rodrigo has 7 land here. He has the option of.
He can play Koth minus.
Play Koth minus and then monstrous Storm Breath. Shay checking his board real quick.
There's an attack.
All right, there's an attack. There's nothing really that Shay can do about this.
Agreed.
So we're gonna see. Yeah, Rodrigo's just gonna fire off the monstrous here.
Okay, so yeah, this Storm Breath becomes the
Storm Breath is going to become a 7/7.
A 7/7, and it's going to do 2 damage to Shay.
Yeah.
So Shay's going to go to 2.
Unless Shay wants to fire off a Cord for 2 here.
Okay.
But there's just so much
more value. Yeah.
There's so much value in that I don't think you can do it. Like, you have to get P and K next turn.
Yeah,
else you
I
just
agree.
don't have blocks ever.
Right. I honestly, if the last card in Rodrigo's hand is a Koth, I like that much more than. I like trying to get that out and then minusing it much more than.
Well, the problem is if you play the.
Koth,
then
then it just dies.
It just dies.
That's fair. It's probably more value next turn when it can go up. So Shay here is going to Cord for 1.
So Shay has access to Cord for 2.
I think he's cording for 1.
He's just cording for 1, which is.
What is he cording for, Dan?
I'm a little interested about this. I'm not sure there's much on 1. Shay just might be trying to get a card out of his hand. But if he's trying to get a card out of his hand, then I much prefer a Cord for 2. There's a chance he forgot about the Reclamation Sage.
Yeah.
I mean, he can also Cord for birds.
He'll get a birds and block. Okay, that's pretty good. I actually don't hate that line.
I don't either, but
so Shay's still at 9 here because
this is so much worse at stabilizing and getting 2 blockers in P and K.
Right.
And let's not forget, you have a 4/3 in the air. Like, this is a very real clock.
This is, I mean, Shay is 2 damage off of killing Rodrigo.
You can also you have free attacks with voice as well, because if you block the voice, it just gets bigger when it does.
Right. Yeah, it'll make a very large token. But so this is the monstrous resolves,
and it looks like Shay chose to take it.
Okay, so he's gonna go to 2 here.
So Shay, with an extremely fortuitous draw,
What do you get,
drew a
POK?
Shriekmaw.
Oh my god. And he has the birds for black mana. Shriekmaw your dude with evoke too. So now
with not
there's,
evoked,
sorry,
just
not
hardcasting.
non-evoked. And now Shay has to look at his attacks here. You have to send the voice here, right, Dan?
I like sending the voice, and I like sending the Revelark.
Whew. No, send the voice. Do it. Yeah.
This ensures that you have a 2-turn clock.
It's a 2-turn clock, yeah.
Because next turn you just attack with
You
everyone.
just, yeah, everyone just sort of blitzes.
The flip side of this is that you are weak to. Well, I guess like you're dead to bolt, right? So
Yeah, but you know.
but that's fine.
Rodrigo gonna go to 4. So 1 turn. How many outs? Engineered explosives. Is that an out? No, it's not.
No, because
No, it's definitely not. Shay's board consisting of a 1, 2, 3.
that's a pirate spellbomb.
Oh no. That's a Pyrite Spellbomb. Shay Alexander gonna lose this one to Pyrite Spellbomb. Oh, oh no.
And this game.
It's almost like it's even more like.
So Shay
Yeah.
definitely corded for the birds, thinking about blocking.
Yeah, I agree. The way he's motioning is like that.
And if he had blocked,
he'd be very alive, but he wouldn't have been able to play the Shriekmaw.
yeah.
Oh no, he would have been. He would have
he's
6 7.
fetch
He would have
for
been at 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
fetch for overgrown.
But the thing is, unless Shay had the Shriekmaw in hand,
Yeah, you can't expect it off the top like that.
right.
Which to me implies that I like blocking with the bird more.
Well, so if you block with the bird, you're still on a 2-turn clock,
Yeah,
and you would still die to this exact sequence.
would you? If you block with the bird, you're at 9, right? Oh, and then the next turn you get swung down to.
Right.
Well, it depends if you have the Shriekmaw or not.
Well,
If you draw the Shriekmaw, you win because you go to 4 and he draws the Spellbomb.
right. Or if you draw a Quarter Calling, you are also
Yeah.
on. So it's interesting. I'm not a huge fan of cording for birds to begin with, but if you were going to take that line, I think you have to block there.
Okay. And sorry, what would you have preferred to cord for there?
I would have corded for P and K to turn afterwards.
Sure. Make just multiple blockers.
Make multiple blockers.
I mean, you're still at 2 though, so you still lose the Spellbomb, right?
You're right. So my line, you still would lose a spellbomb, but it gives you additional outs, right? 'Cause
Yeah, I
now
agree.
it buys you 2 turns.
Instead of just the bird.
Well,
Yeah.
it buys you. Well, yeah, you can block for 2 turns. Right.
Yeah.
And you also have the option of you block and you throw it.
Right.
So your clock is down to a 2-turn clock.
You block and you throw it at the Eternal Scourge. It exiles itself. If Rodrigo doesn't recast it, if he does something else with his, because he, right,
Or you can just throw it at face. Like
yeah,
that,
or you can
that
throw
too is
face.
good.
Yeah, that's also because the thing is, if the Eternal Scourge isn't blocking, that's probably 2 damage versus 2 damage face. And not lose a creature.
So this game would definitely be interesting to look back at.
I agree.
Shay went, voice into voice, which is obviously a good start. I think had he been a little more aggressive in trying to kill the Koth,
Yeah,
he may have the context of the game may have changed a little bit.
agreed.
But it's definitely interesting, and there was no clear misplay anywhere.
Right.
But perhaps there was a better line somewhere, and that's one of the nice parts about the Kiki-cord list. There's just a lot of play.
Right, yeah, you can always be interacting with what you're with, or not necessarily, you can always be, taking different lines because Cord is so versatile.
Right, and I mean, Shay could have, taken a break from attacks on one of those turns to get a big cord off.
Right.
Right, I remember he attacked on turn 4 with double
Voice.
when he could have left up cord for 3.
Yeah.
Which was a valid line, and there's a lot of interesting things. Like that turn, he could have corded for Ewit.
Right, and started
the
this
chain
cycle.
right there.
Yeah, and that's pretty good because I mean we did see the bolt from Rodrigo, but if if that's the only piece of interaction he has, then you're still pretty far ahead, right? Because you're baiting the Like if you get if he has to bolt your E-wit because you're gonna just cord up the chain and like resto Kiki him, then you're not losing. Then you don't lose your voice token. You have more power on board.
And let's not forget you have double voice. You can just cord on your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like if you want to bolt
then make 2 tokens.
Yeah, and here's 10 power you just added. That's fine too. And I mean, with the mono red version, you're not playing around Wrath of God or anything.
Oh no
either. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. Perhaps that was a better line. Instead of attacking with the voices, you just start trying to go up the core chain.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see where the pressure line gets played. My thought was the turn when Shay left up 5 mana, he should have played the Revel Arc that turn because he left up 5 and then he untapped.
Right,
and he didn't do anything.
That was a very, very big tempo loss.
Right, yeah, like he basically just took a turn off.
Right,
and playing the Revel Arc there, right? We saw Rodrigo was at 4. You get 1 more attack in, maybe you kill him.
Right, and I know Shay was hesitant to play the Revel Arc because if it dies, you get no value.
Right.
But that at least it's a lot of pressure. It's still a 4/3
it's a 4/3 in the air, right? Like at some point if it's do nothing versus play this Revel Arc, like.
Well, Shay's line obviously was he really, really wanted to bait the double block. Like if Rodrigo at any point went for P and K on one voice, the double Thopters in front of the other, then all of a sudden you slam the Revel Arc and you're in fantastic shape.
Yeah, then it's like, oh, look out.
Right, but Rodrigo made the right play, decided not to block, just because double elemental tokens is incredibly scary.
Obviously the power scales like crazily. So.
Right, I mean, like it's a very real play that Shay just went play a land and then play P and K. And all of a sudden, there's a 2/1/1 Thopters, a 2/2, and 2 5/5s that will probably get bigger the turn after.
Yeah, voice tokens confirmed pretty good. Definitely the second most. I think they are the voice token is the second most valuable card in Dragon's Maze right now after.
Right, although that speaks more to
how bad Dragon's Maze was.
How bad Dragon's Maze was.
This is true. Yeah. So. Because the round basically has ended, we can throw it over. We can take a look at a couple lists from SCG.
Sure. Yeah, we can. There was both an invitational and a classic this weekend. The invitational, the list that did well, a little bit skewed by the fact that where you played in the tournament was determined how well you did in standard.
Right. Yeah.
So if you did very well in standard. And also very well, if you did very well in standard, that forced you to play at the top tables with modern.
Yeah.
Whereas if you played,
middling
in standard, you got some of the lower tables.
Right. So we do have there were 4 decks that were 7-1 or better at this one. So we have.
We can start right off the top. We have Todd Anderson on Jund, just pretty much running it back from what he played the weeks prior, and there's nothing. Too exciting about this list. He switched to triple Grimflare, and still has the 3 Leyline of the Void as a concession to just the frequency of dredge.
Yeah. The next one is Burn, standard Nea Burn. Nothing really special about that either.
Nothing exciting. This is one of the few lists that you can just race an uninteractive deck. You can usually kill a Valakut player the turn before they kill you. And against Infect, you just have so much burn that you can actually deal with Infect creatures.
Right, and the other thing is Eidolon of the Great Revel is super, super good against Infect.
Yeah, if you're going to resolve an Eidolon against an empty board against Infect,
what are they doing?
It's going to do a lot of work. Yeah. Going down the list, we have Jeskai Aggro from Zach Canner.
Yeah, so this is the list that Jeff Hooglin was playing a lot recently, right? It's you play Mantis Rider and stuff, and you
it's very much a burn deck with just splashing blue for
Snapcaster, Storm Chaser, and Mantis Rider.
Right. So just additional Monastery Swift Spear effects.
Yeah.
Right. And the Snapcaster Mage, just when you get Snapcaster back, like a Taxian Probe or a Mutagenic, it's just it's such a low cost.
Right. I mean, in this deck, right? This is playing 8 fast lands, which I really like because you're just you stop at 3, right? You play
your 4th land drop is dead.
You play 3 fast lands and you're just cool, Mantis Rider, you go. And Mutagenic Growth obviously incredible there. Mantis Rider's not a bad card, but it does die to Bolt. But then you Muta and you're just whoa, this is a 5/5.
Well, the problem with it dies to Bolt argument is you have 20 creatures in your deck.
Yeah.
Almost all of them with haste.
Right. They all have haste except for Snapcaster.
Right, so you have a lot of bolt targets.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with this deck is that if you draw like, I mean, if you have like a below average draw and you only draw the spells half of your deck, it's really, really bad.
Right, if you draw the spells half, you're a worse burn deck.
Like a much worse burn deck. Like you're playing Mutagenic Growth and Vapor Snag burn deck.
Right. And you know, there are creature draws that are also clunky. If you're playing
Right.
against an opponent that was, you know, on a removal heavy draw, all of a sudden, you know, it could be turn 4 and they're still sitting at like 17. And you're just asking, like, what happened?
Yeah, what's going on?
Right.
And then moving down the list, perhaps the spiciest of the 7-1 or better lists from Modern this weekend, Amulet Titan is back, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
It's back.
Yeah, so this looks a lot like just the old Amulet deck, except that you don't have the Summer Bloom that was banned.
Yeah, so the thing that this deck is doing a little bit differently, so right, you're playing 4 Azusa Lost but Seeking, you're also playing 4 Sakura Tribe Scout.
Mm-hmm.
Sakura Tribe Scout, sort of a weird card. It lets you every turn tap it, and you can put a land from your hand into play. And so, you know, you put a bounce land into play, you have an amulet, you float mana. This deck, actually, what's interesting is that it doesn't ramp to 6 on turn 3. It ramps to 5. Because you go like land, amulet, land, scout, and then you go like regular land, amulet, and then bounce land, and then the next turn you play another. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure 100% how this deck works, but like, there's a reason that there's a Thragtusk and a Batterskull in here, and that's because you ramp to 5 more often than you ramp to 6.
Well, one thing that's notable about this deck is that there's no Hive Mind in it. Despite the fact that you're running, you know, a Slaughter Pact, there's no combo kill here. It's just, you know, a lot of mana, and then once you just play the Primeval Titans and you get some of the, you know, Sunhome or like, you know, the interesting lands, and then you try to kill them with the fairway. You actually have to hit them.
Right. Yeah. No. Hive Mind, losing to Hive Mind, pretty great. Your opponent just, you know, can't pay for their pact or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just Hive Mind loses a lot of value when it's a very slow way of killing an opponent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to get to 6 mana. And
You have to get to get to 6. And you have to have the right pact, and it has to be in the right colors. Like, you know,
if your opponent's on green, like Summoner's Pact does not help you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Summoner's Pact is only good if, you know, you get like turn 3 it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of interesting decks. This one's certainly the most interesting of them.
Yeah.
In part just because like it just seems like a fairer version of the old Amulet deck.
Right, and you know that's the thing. Is the deck got banned, but the deck is back somewhat. Like, you know, it's one of those. It's one of those like, it's floating around the fringes. I'm not saying it's anywhere near as good as Amulet used to be, but
the core pieces are still strong, right? Primeval Titan is still very good.
Look at the Valakut decks, right? Like Primeval Titan, obviously still doing work in Modern.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other event was the Classic, which. Top 8, won by Dredge. Caleb Scherer just playing. Looks like a pretty standard,
stock Dredge list. The only notable difference is there's a Haunted Dead in it, as well as a Dark Blast.
Yeah.
But again, you have a couple flex spots in the Dredge deck that you can pretty much play whatever at.
Yeah. The other, and then second place taken down by Green White Tron. The new, so sort of pioneered at least in like a large event by Tom Ross build of Tron. Obviously, other people have thought about putting Path to Exile in their main deck of Tron, but you know, just seems like a good way. You know, you have main deck Relic of Progenitus. You have Ulamog. You just do Tron things, right? Like
right.
If you don't die and you cast a 7-drop, like you're probably gonna win.
Yeah. The one problem with the Green White Tron list is that you are very, very soft to Infect. You just
it's like draw path or lose, and even then you
draw one
lose.
of the 3 paths or the spell sky.
Right, and I mean that's sort of what you concede with Tron, though, right?
So what was I think the most interesting part about the top 8 for the Modern Classic are there were 2 red-white decks that made it.
Yeah.
One of them.
The Sun and Moon deck.
One of them, yeah, the Sun and Moon deck, which there was actually a surprising number of Sun and Moon decks at the event.
Oh, really? Okay.
Just like, you know. The idea of, you know, playing main deck Chalice and main deck Blood Moon
just get people, right?
Appeals to a lot of people. Yeah, so there was a prison deck that plays the 4 main deck Chalice, 4 main deck Blood Moon. But there's also red-white control deck, which is just, effectively...
This list is great.
Yeah.
It has 4 Blood Moon in it, but you're also playing Resto Kiki. You're also playing Nahiri Emrakul, and you get all the good removal, right? Like, you have 4 Path, 4 Bolt, 3 Helix, 2 Blessed Alliance, and 2 Anger of the Gods main board.
Right.
Along with 4 Blood Moon, right? So, like, you can still just, like, yeah, turn 3 Blood Moon, obviously much worse than turn 2 Blood Moon, but, like, still not bad, right? Like, turn 3 Blood Moon still wins games.
Right. And the only downside of this deck is you don't have the card advantage engine you do in, like, Jeskai. You replace the card advantage with Blood Moons and like Blessed Alliances and whatnot.
Yeah, and also like you are a Path deck playing Blood Moons, which is I mean there's probably it's like I would rather have either Path. I would rather have the problem of like, oh, I have Path and Blood Moon than have like neither. Like, if that makes sense, right? You want to draw at least either some Paths or some Blood Moons, and if you draw both, it's unfortunate, but like that's the breaks, and you can always pitch extra Blood Moons to Nahiri or something.
Right.
That being said, yeah, it's interesting. Like, basically they're using the Blood Moon to sort of get around the fact that they're just basically drawing cards, except for like their Wall of Omens.
I mean, a lot of decks can't beat a Blood Moon.
This is true.
It's just that's been true
against. I mean, if you kill Infect's first creature, right? Like, you just Blood Moon their Ink Moths, and they also don't have like they have to have hierarchs and stuff.
Looks like we have around 2 pairings here.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
All right. Dana's gonna jump out of the booth just for a moment. Gonna go down there, acquire some people, and Cubs fans. So I don't know if you were here for the start of the stream, but Lantern was on camera round 1, and the pilot lost to Infect, unfortunately. So if you go back into the VODs, it's there. We missed like the first game because of some technical issues with the stream, which are fixed now. But yeah, so a little bit unfortunate, but there are 2 games of Lantern versus Infect in the VODs just floating around. So that is something that you can definitely check out. I'm gonna throw it down to the play overlay so I can do some resetting of life totals and things. And hopefully we will be underway quite shortly to start the second round. With all these Blood Moon decks running around, it's just like you never know, right? We saw Blood Moon last week out of Grixis, Delver, right? Like the card is in a format where like you can stop your opponent from just casting spells for 3 mana. It's pretty good. And so players sitting down here, we are going to have Vincent Adenolfi on the right. Store regular, makes it on stream a lot, usually because he's winning. Against, on the left is going to be Elon Mercado, who I do not know, and therefore do not know what he's on. Vince is either on Jeskai or Vince is on Cord, and I'm not sure which one he chose to play eventually. Did he take your Cord deck?
Yeah, Vincent is actually on Kiki-cord today.
All right.
So we're actually going to be
Vincent
partially running it back.
Vincent is on Kiki-cord, as we saw in the first round. I thought he was on Jeskai.
Yeah, when I stepped out during round 1, I saw his board state, and there were creatures with like 5 or 6 counters on it from Gavarni Township.
What was he playing against?
He was playing the Mirror.
Wow, so there's like 3 Cord players in the room tonight?
Yeah, a little bit unusual.
A lot. Yeah, so 3 Kiki-cord players in the room. Do you know what Elon is on?
I in fact do not.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm excited to find out. Yeah, so hopefully we should be underway shortly here. Start this timer. Oh, sorry. So Shay goes by Shay Alexander on Facebook, which is my heir.
Yeah. I believe
they're
Shay's
both the
middle
same.
name is Alexander.
His middle name is Alexander, but because I see his name on Facebook, I call him that. That's my bad. I'll keep to his actual last name. Shay Straussman is Shay Alexander. All right. So yeah. So this is another Another Chord of Calling deck played by Vince here.
First time pilot of this deck. So
oh, really? I mean, he does own Chord though.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, I think the biggest thing is going to be the philosophical differences between playing Chord and playing Jeskai.
Yeah, I mean, like the Jeskai Kiki list that Vincent normally plays, there still is a combo kill here, but you can also win fair games.
You can win the fair games. There's a combo kill. You do more attacking than the Jeskai list does, though.
You do far more attacking, mostly on account of you play far more creatures that can attack.
Hey man, just because Wall of Omens has Defender doesn't mean we gotta hate.
And your manland gets upgraded too.
This is true.
We go to Raging Ravines.
I love Colonnade so much, but Raging Ravine is actually so much better. Hey Gibbous, how you doing tonight? Yeah, so okay.
When a Raging Ravine becomes like a 6/6 or 7/7, all of a sudden I was like, how do I deal with this?
All right, Dan, we get it. You Raging Ravine. But no, I agree with you. Raging Ravine is a very, very good Magic card. Yeah.
So
Vincent gonna have them all though.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen what Elon is on, but it looks like he's thinking about mulliganing too. All right, looks like they're both gonna go to 6. Hopefully we can get a good look at what's on the bot, or I guess Elon is shuffling completely out of the camera, so we don't know.
Yeah.
So you have anything? Do you know if there's anything spicy in Vincent's deck? Because like I know he's borrowing your list, so
I'm not sure how much he changed it.
How many Yixlid jailers do you have?
There's currently 0.
Oh, Dan, how are there 0 Yixlid jailers?
Yeah. There is, however, a Mere Superion in the main, because there are a couple of Banteldrazi players in the room.
Mere Superion. For those of you unfamiliar with the card, can only cast this using mana produced by creatures, or you can Chord for it, right? So you either Chord for 2, or you have that sweet play where you go like turn 1 birds, turn 2 land, wall, mana, tap birds, Mere Superion.
Yeah. There's also the always fun play of you get attacked by a Reality Smasher, you Chord for 2 in response, and just block and kill it.
Yeah, it's like attacks. Fine. I mean, as long as they don't have a hierarch, right? Then you're just sad.
Right.
But yeah, Mere Superion is a pretty good card. I mean, by pretty good, I mean, like, it can be situationally insane, but I actually don't know if the card is,
If you draw it and it's not castable, it does feel kind of like you mulligan. But,
I mean, because you did, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what is in his hand? Oh, it's Fish? Yes, it's Fish. All right. Elon Mercado going to be on Merfolk. How do you feel about this matchup? I can't imagine this is super good. If they Spreading Seas your stuff, you're sort of like getting hit.
Right, but again, you do have Kosali Pride Mage in the main.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
You do have main deck ways of dealing with this.
Okay. That's pretty reasonable. Vince looking here. I think he's got I thought I saw Revlark, but it's unsure.
All right. And looks like Ian's taking the Skred, but needs to be a little careful with that Skred there, and not make sure not to put it in hand when he scries.
Yeah, it looks like a Cavern is going to come down. Cavern, Aether Vial. Pretty good. Good start.
This would be an insane start against the Jeskai deck.
Right. I mean, look, the thing is, the Jeskai deck, like, against Merfolk is, like, you're trying to just, like, bolt all their stuff. Right? Like, you just have to just bolt their things. And if you don't do that, then you lose. But, like, Aether Vial, the thing is, like, most Jeskai lists are not playing as many counter spells anymore.
Right.
Like, it's like 4 or 5.
So it looks like Vincent kept a land light hand. Saw the forest on top, and played turn 1 Windswept Heath.
Yeah.
Didn't fetch until his turn 2.
Gonna fetch something else too. Temple Garden gonna come down.
Okay.
So he's probably got Chord and Voice then. Because I can't imagine this is anything except Voice. And
this is gonna be a Wall of Omens as well.
The Wall of Omens? Okay, yeah. That's true. Voice, Wall of Omens, Wall of Roots, whatever. And now also another green source for Chord. And if it is a wall, that does matter. But we'll see. I think, does he have a bird too? I don't know. Okay, this is the Wall of Omens. This card is a card that Vince is familiar with. He plays it in his Jeskai Kiki deck. He draws cards with it, etc.
Looks like he drew Ewit off of that.
Okay, Ewit's pretty good.
Yeah, Ewitting for land is a play a lot of people don't want to make, but if you're missing your land
Just
drops,
make
it's
a 2-1 and do it. Yeah, I think Vince does have something on the right there.
Yeah, it looks like he does have a Wooded Foothill.
Elon with no islands.
Yeah, this is going to make Ian's. Oh, so Ian's choosing just the main face. This
Curse Catcher.
It's fine. Oh, okay. And excuse our pronunciation. The player on the left is Elon, not
Yeah.
Ian.
So he's just gonna hold up 2 mana there. If he has a bunch of double blue spells, like that's what you like. He can't, if he has like Master the Pearl Trident, right? Like that Mutavault Cavern doesn't actually cast anything.
Right, and that is one of the.
Vince gonna fetch again.
That is one of the problems with the Merfolk mana base. Just like specifically when you have a draw like this.
Right, is like you're like, oh, I don't have double blue, and double blue super relevant.
Well, not even that. Guess what card you can't cast? You can't cast a Spreading Seas.
That also. Wow,
Right.
Vince getting another basic forest here. His hand must be. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Right. So the only so there's a color. It's a 4-color deck, but the
is
colors
base green.
are. It is very much base green. The black is pretty much in the main only for Orzhov Pontiff.
Pontiff is pretty good against
Right.
fish.
And the red.
Okay, so he is going to Ewit here and Ewit back a land. And then that'll probably get something like more. That'll go into one of the splash colors too.
Sure. Yeah.
Elon going to roll up the Aether Vial here. Didn't get a look at what he drew. And he does have the island now.
Okay, so now Ian's hand is certainly unlocked. Should be able to play pretty much anything. If this is a Spreading Seas here, Vince is just not gonna care all that much.
He does. I mean, he has another fetch, right?
Yeah, he has another fetch.
He could get attacked by like someone, by Violin Lord Swing 2 with the catcher, which I think is what's happening right now. Yep, there you go. All right, so that's a Master of the Pearl Trident. We'll pull it up on the side here. Basically a
2/2 Lord gives your
2/2 Lord.
gives your team Island Walk.
Pretty good, and that's going to be an attack. Vincent going to go to 14. So now Vincent is under pressure because his land has been Spreading Seized.
Right.
If he has another land, he does have another land though. He can cord for Kasali Pride Mage.
Right. Vincent now also has Restoration Angel up if he wants to draw it. He also has a cord for 3. Keep in mind also the Curse Catcher can be sacked if you go full cord.
To stop the cord, yeah, I agree. I don't like not attacking with the Ewit here though.
Yeah, like regardless of what, if you don't attack with the Ewit, you can block the Master, assuming there are no other.
Right, but I don't want to
2 mana
take that
block.
risk against Merfolk, right?
Yeah.
And so, but Vince does look like he's just going to pass the turn. He could be looking to cord. I can totally see that.
Looks like they are having a discussion about some things.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So So Vince also, like we were saying, does have a pretty good like he could start chaining as soon once the curse, like he has to figure out how to get around this curse catcher. Oh, he is going to attack. Oh wow, he read my mind.
Yeah, this attack is free if you have any other play after this.
Yeah, agreed.
And Trenton Ferguson, that's actually a really good question. How would you recommend I get into MTG?
I know that I got in by going to an F&M and starting by drafting.
Yeah, I like that suggestion a lot. If you go to a local game store, the one that runs MTG events, that's easily one of the best ways of not only making friends in the community who play the game, but also of learning how to play the game. MTG can be a fairly complex game if you try to read it, learn how to play it just by the rules. But if you have someone teaching you in person, it is much easier.
Yeah, and I mean that's how I got started playing Modern. Is
Trenton, so Magic gets played in paper at local game stores pretty much around the world. Usually they're either board game stores or card stores. Some of them are comic book stores. If you just Google local FNM locations, and FNM stands for Friday Night Magic. Those are weekly events that almost every MTG store holds. And that would definitely be the easiest way of getting into the game in person.
Yeah, if you walk into a Magic shop and you say, "I want to learn to play Magic," I'm interested in trying to play this game. There will be so many people who are willing to help you, like actual so many.
Right. So, Elon making this attack here, but Mirror Rejury doesn't give his Master of Pearl Trident Island Walk.
Right, so this is going to be an insane blowout for Vince.
So Vincent can block. Now, Elon still has his Vial on 2, so if he Vials in another Lord, it is going to kill it.
I think Vince is. So
I think Vince went to
flickers.
block and flickered.
Yeah.
So-
No. So I think he's flickering before blocks here.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. So he can't block the Curse Catcher, but he can block the Lord, and that's a big deal.
Yes, this is a very, very big deal. Now, if Elon has just another Lord in hand,
Then Vince gets blown out.
this is a vicious blowout. But it's not, even then, it's not the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Vince's gonna go to 9 here.
You're preventing 4 damage in
Mm-hmm.
that case, and you've got land back. But given that Elon doesn't have a
Lord.
Lord, this is brutal.
Yeah. So now does Vince have? No, he doesn't have it for 5. He's close though, right? Like, if he has a
1, 2, 3,
land, does he
4,
win
5,
the
6,
game?
7, 8. This is
Oh no, he doesn't because there's still Curse Catcher in play.
Yeah.
He does have a Gavany Township though, which he can activate.
Mm-hmm.
These are going to be some pretty serious beats here. This is an attack for 5.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Vincent has another Resto in hand.
Man, this is just like Jeskai Control all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Dude just playing Restos and drawing cards. Restoration Angel extremely good. Like, I don't know. What are if I were to ask you like what the best like mono white cards are in Modern, it'd be Path to Exile,
Thalia.
Resto?
The Resto's definitely in there. It's Path by a mile, though. Right?
I mean, of course, yeah. It's Path and then everything else.
Right.
But like,
So, Elon, unfortunately, not having a file target in hand for 2.
that's not great.
Yeah, that's a.
I mean, it could be that he had like Vile and Harbinger of the Tides. What do you bounce on Vince's board?
I mean, I don't hate end of turn, Harbingering and Ewit.
Yeah, I mean it's slow. Vince has you cost him tempo and stuff, but just
It just gets you another body on board.
yeah.
Like,
Vince also has a Path in hand, which is just so he only has 1 white source, but like still, it's pretty brutal.
yeah. Let's not forget that Vincent is at 9. Like, this is going to be a very big attack.
This is an attack for a bit, yep.
Okay.
And if there's another Lord here for Elon, it's okay. So it is another Curse Catcher. So Vince,
Yeah, the Curse Catcher going to trigger the Rejury, allowing Elon to untap something.
oh yeah, okay, wait, Stony Silence Rip. Okay, you're right, Gibbisum. We just saw that come up in the chat. Yeah, I guess we completely forgot the sideboard cards.
I mean, Stone Silence, rest in peace, very powerful. It still, like, pales in comparison to the Path Exile.
I mean, it's Path, probably those 2, and then Resto Thalia.
Yeah. Thalia, bigger card in Eternal formats.
Of course. So this is an attack for 4. The Mutavault attacking with the Curse Catcher.
No, attack for 5.
Oh, sorry, yeah, it is for 5. Mutavault gets buffed. Yeah, so an attack for 5. But if I'm Vince, like, I block with... I flash in Resto and try to just eat something.
Yeah, I mean, you have a... let's not forget that the Curse Catcher no longer has Island Walk.
Right. Oh, wait, yeah, there's no Island Walk here. What's happening?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you sort of have to make this attack, but also, like, you never want to make this attack.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this attack, just because you're going to get blown out really, really hard here. You have Vincent just has free blocks.
Yeah, there's no Island Walk.
Unless Elon...
Vapor Snag.
Okay, sure, the Vapor Snag is fine.
Vince gonna go to 8.
Vince going to go to 8, and now here I just, like, Wall of Almost block the Mutavault, take 2.
Of course. Yep. And then Vince going to event now going to go to 6.
Yeah. If Elon had drawn a 2-mana Lord that turn, though,
Yeah.
I think Vincent is just dead.
Right. Yeah. Well, because the Rejury has.
Oh well, no. If Vincent has a Path in hand,
Yeah.
he's fine.
Right. So yeah, untap from Vince here. Definitely getting pressured on the life total front of things. Might want to consider. The problem is that like because of the way that he's fetched, getting double basic forest. He's really constrained on white mana, so he has to choose like either Path your Rejury or potentially lose the game to a Lord. But this is a 3-mana spell, and he's tapping his Spreading Seas land.
All right. So yeah, it is really awkward that Elon has double Curse Catcher.
Right, it's pretty good against a lot of stuff.
It looks like Vincent drew a Kiki-cord, which is
laughably uncastable.
yeah, completely uncastable. There is a Firelit Thicket, but we're a ways from it.
He's gonna cord here.
This is a core for 3.
Oh, this is Pontiff, right?
This is presumably Pontiff?
I don't know what else you cord for,
But, okay, so Pontiff will clear out both Curse Catchers.
but
But-
you're still in trouble.
You're in pretty rough shape.
Like you have to trade the Pontiff for the Mutavault. next turn.
What else is there in this deck at 3? There's...
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. I'm not like...
I'm not a huge fan.
I'm not a huge fan of this play. Especially since you had this play on
Elon's
turn.
I like doing this in combat after you block.
Yes.
Like, that's insane.
You get insane value, and also you can use these
stuff
as blockers.
Right. Oh, and Pontiff is not going to kill anything.
Pontiff is not... Pontiff will kill both Curse
No, it
Catchers.
won't. They're buffed by the They're buffed
Oh,
by the
that's
retreat.
right.
I really hope Vince didn't forget that.
Oh, well, Vincent has a path.
Oh,
but...
okay. But now the Curse Catchers can just team up on the path.
Yep. We'll see if Elon remembers this.
Sack, pay 1. I mean, the thing is Vincent clears a bunch of power off the board either way, right?
But he also taps out pretty heavily for this.
Yeah, that's true. Elon, gonna let the Regery go, though.
Okay, I'm like... it reveals the Spreading Seas in hand.
I mean, that's pretty good. Vince is like on mono green lands in a Gavany Township if he has another Spreading Seas.
But the problem with it, without it not sacking the...
Oh, so
second
now
Regery, now the Regery will die.
Now the Curse Catcher dies, right?
Yeah, now the Curse Catcher dies because the Regery is gone. And... Yeah,
I like doing this at instant speed much more.
I much prefer doing this at instant speed. You can go to blocks and then cord. You can leave the Curse Catchers unblocked and then block the other two.
That being said, Vince is not getting punished at all.
Vince is not getting punished, and I don't think there's a combo draw with the Spreading Seas that will kill Vincent this turn.
If you draw Lord, yeah, you're right. Okay, that's fair. But Vincent is going to be off of mana forever. He did draw a Lord.
So he can attack for 3, but that's all we can attack for.
I mean, that is a 2-turn clock on Vince.
It is a 2-turn clock, and like you certainly have to do it. I mean, you might as well fire off the Spreading Seas. I will fire off the Spreading Seas on the Sacred Foundry.
Yeah, I mean, of course, right? So now Vincent really can't do anything.
Vince no longer on a white source. The Path to Exile... the Path to Exile was played.
Gibbous M, I agree, or sorry, TX Rager, I agree that Elon should have Curse Catchered the path the second time. Mm-hmm. But now the Lord of Atlantis is going to come down. Elon's attack suddenly now he has an unblockable guy, that sort of thing, and Vincent really can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Ugh. Of the moon.
Oh, and Elon choosing not to attack there. That's
interesting.
That's definitely an interesting line.
What about this card, Dan?
So one card that Kiki-cord does have access to are Magus of the Moon.
Jeez.
Fortunately, it doesn't interact well with.
If Vincent has a cord here, he can just cord for Kiki and win the game, right?
He is the only Kiki in hand.
Oh, there's only one Kiki.
Yes.
No, please.
And the Kiki is very far from being castable.
Yeah, there's no red sources whatsoever.
There's
an attack with Arresto.
Mm-hmm.
Elon going to go to 10.
You do have the option if there's a Lone Missionary in this deck, you can cord for a Lone Missionary, gain some life.
For sure. I agree, TX Rager. These main phase plays are weird, and I really don't like Elon not attacking with the Mutavault there. I'm not sure what he was afraid of.
Yeah, and Vincent also, just like didn't attack with the... Well, I guess the attack with the Ewit is not necessarily
You want to block the
right.
board.
Now, we do know Vincent does have another Resto in hand and a Revelark. Oh, it looks like Vincent's hand is full of
cards that
spells.
are completely uncastable right now.
Yeah.
Kira going to come down here.
Okay, Kira, a pretty good card.
Yeah, preventing, she shields up, right?
Actually, if Vincent had a Magus of the Moon in his deck, he could win on the... He could
win on the spot. Yeah, I agree.
Well, not on the spot.
But pretty close to it.
Yeah, he just cords for Magus and then untaps. And then...
Yeah, but here Vincent going to cord for 2 in response to Kira. Maybe more than 2. I think he actually might have corded for... Oh, he's cording for 4, 1, 2... Yeah, sorry. This is for 4, because he tapped all his lands and 2 creatures. Mm-hmm. What's on 4?
Restoration Angel is on 4.
Doing what, though?
Oh, P and K is also on 4.
But P and K isn't blocking anything, is it? I guess P and K you can... No, you don't have red mana. You can't throw it at stuff.
Mm-hmm. If he corded for 5,
mm-hmm.
he could get an Archangel?
Bethune?
No.
Avacyn.
Excuse me, Avacyn, and try to...
Yeah.
Try to flip
Vincent
it?
going to cord for Resto.
Mm-hmm.
Resto going to target Ewit. Ewit going to target Cord.
Okay.
Gonna go back into the hand there. But the thing is Vince Vince is like on a 2-turn clock here from this Mutavault. He would be dead this turn.
He would be dead
Elon
this
had
turn.
attacked.
Elon had attacked last turn. Yes.
Yeah.
And like obviously Vincent's board looks very threatening, but Elon is winning this race, handily winning this race.
I mean, Vince has like what? I don't know. This is challenging, right? Like, he has 6 power in the air, but there's a Kira. 8 power if he adds on the Gavany.
Yeah, and I mean there are Q plays you can make.
And Elon not attacking
Elon
again.
choosing not to attack again.
I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, you have to be an aggressor here.
Vince with a birds and a voice, so the birds can help fix some of his flood.
Well, casting the birds is free with respect to
Yeah.
with respect to Cord.
Right, and it also, it can also get him colors of mana, right? That
Yes.
he doesn't have. But Elon's refusal to attack with his Mutavault is very, very frustrating. I think, like, it's not, like, I just don't know what he's afraid of.
Yeah, so currently we have a Cord for 7 available.
He can cord for everything.
He can Cord for everything.
Attack with Arresto for 3, though. Elon looks like he's going to take it, go to 7. I mean, Vince is just dead 2 turns ago, though, right? If Elon hasn't been attacking.
Yeah, and I think Elon's looking for another Lord to, like, swing for lethal, but...
But no, don't do that. Just
Yeah.
hit him with your guy. Oh, but he found it, I think.
He
found
a
Silvergill.
Okay.
So he gets a draw card here.
Does it have to reveal it because didn't cast from hand?
Yeah, we'll pull up Silvergill Adept. Oh, yeah, Sprankles. He might not see. He might not see Island Walk on the Mutavault. He's played a second Mutavault now, so he definitely sees Island Walk on the. Yeah.
Well, Kira doesn't have Island Walk, and
No,
Silvergill came into play this turn.
Right.
So this is actually really interesting. Vincent can. He can Cord for Avacyn.
Mm-hmm.
And then that gives him 10 power. That gives him 10 power in the air.
Yeah.
And then he can attack with all of it. And then when Elon goes to block with Kira, he can flicker to Orzhov Pontiff with the second Cord in hand.
Okay.
And for Anthem on your team. And then you hit them for 8.
I mean, the other thing is if this is an Avacyn, he just has 7 power in the air, regardless. But instead, it's another birds.
So if Vincent's trying to draw a red source to just win on the spot.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I definitely like Flicker. Like, because is there an Avacyn in the main deck?
There is an Avacyn.
Okay, yeah. So if you get Avacyn here, you just have a 4-power attacker and a 3-power attacker that get through.
Well, you have 2 Restos, right?
Right. So, but one of them gets blocked by the Kier. Oh wait, sorry. He just blocks the Avacyn. My bad.
Yeah.
All right. So draw here from Vince. What did he draw? I don't know what he drew, but this game is really weird.
This has been an unusual game. Looks like he again did not draw.
He has a lone missionary though, which is pretty big.
The lone missionary won't be nearly enough, though, right? This is going to be a.
Not if Elon
this
keeps
is
missing the Mutavault.
Well, this is an attack only for 9.
Vincent, lone missionary into play.
Yeah.
Up to 10.
This is only going to be an attack for 9
right, I agree.
as stands.
Yeah, that's fair. Vincent with the ability to activate Gavany Township here too. I don't know if that helps in terms of attacking.
Well, if you attack, it makes Restos a lethal attack, right?
Just Restos I mean, he has to chump with the Kira.
Yeah. Which means that
he's just gonna pass.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
What is happening? What is happening? We're confused up here, but
yeah, and again,
this is a confusing board state. We might have life totals wrong. I don't know.
Vincent's decision to just fake for his first 2 fetches to fetch forest really starting to punish him here. I
mean, but they also paid off in the fact that he's not dead.
Right, but he could have like deployed his hand a lot sooner, and then like been able to cord.
Yeah. I also don't like attacking with not one of the restos here. 3 mana.
Yeah, I really don't. Yeah,
this is on Elon's turn. What is going on? 3.
Okay.
It's green 1/1. Taps the other bird. Okay, so we might have another resto. 4.
Okay, this looks like a bird.
Is it a resto?
A resto. Oh, but if it's a resto, then like
Resto.
Okay, so Resto, target, eat wit, get back a land, finally get a red source, play Kiki-cord, win the game.
What on earth is happening?
Okay.
All right.
Wait, so if he had a Resto in hand, then the cord prior to that, instead of cording for birds, could have corded for the Archangel, because he didn't need the cord for Resto. He just had the Resto in hand. So he could have just flickered the Pontiff for Anthem.
Look, Dan, you're 100% right. Okay, Vincent Adinolfi gonna take probably the most convoluted line to win with the combo here. I do agree, Benjamin Barry. He is playing on his opponent, not knowing his Mutavaults have Island Walk. What if Elon's last card is like a Dismember? Like, what do you do then? I guess you can just swing out there, right? Like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, right? Like, what you respond to the Kiki activation with Dismember on.
Oh wait.
So you got
there we go, yeah.
You have to tap both birds.
Kiki-cord. All right, we did it.
Oh man, if Elon like pulled out like a cryptic command here.
Crackers 2. He will watch this. I am also very good friends with Vincent IRL, as the kids say these days. So he will not only hear about this, he may not ever hear the end of this. Harbinger of the Tides! No! Oh my god! Harbinger of the Tides has flash! But I mean, I think Elon's still dead. Because he activated on Arresto, right? So he has like just 1 billion power in the air.
Yeah, it's okay. So the Resto should block the.
Elon too. You're right. We will definitely talk to both players.
Okay, so the Resto Inshel should flicker the Orzhov Pontiff and just anthem your team.
Right.
Your team is enormous.
Flickering the Ewit.
but I mean, you do have 12 power in the air, anyways.
Get another cord. What's going on? He's attacking with attack with all of them. Elon, can I go to 4 here? Oh no! Hi Tohusehu. Okay, guys. Sorry, Dutch 253. We'll dial down a little bit, but no one knows what's going on anymore. Everything is. Yeah, you're right.
So the line I would have preferred.
Sorry about that, Dutch.
Vincent targeted Kiki on a Resto, and because you get a Resto flicker again, if you target the Pontiff, you now have 4 Restos in the air.
Yeah.
So if you anthem your team, that's 16 power in the air, of which only 1 can be blocked.
Yep.
So at this point, Elon has lethal
kill him
many times over.
3, 6, 10.
Oh no, he can't animate all of these. All of these are 3
he
power.
has lots of lands down here.
Oh, he does have he does have plenty of.
All right, beats. Does Vince have outs?
Vince has cord for. Oh yeah, Vince can cord for Quetzali Pride Mage, which does nothing. He could also.
Do you have a Fiend Hunter?
There must not be a Fiend Hunter in the list. He doesn't have a white source either, so he can't cord for Eternal Winds to get back Path. Oh, the Path would be off because of the Kira.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so would Fiend Hunter.
Oh yeah, Fiend Hunter wouldn't be no good either.
No.
I think Vincent just dies here.
No, not yet. Not yet, Dan. As we've seen in this game.
He can cord for another.
Kira would stop the Fiend Hunter.
He can cord for another Resto. Flicker the Lone Missionary.
Flicker the Pontiff.
The Pontiff won't do anything. The Pontiff. I guess they both do the same thing, right? The Pontiff reduces damage by 4. Lone Missionary increases his life count by 4.
Yep. Tapping lands for spells.
Alright, and it's like, does he have enough green sources?
He does. Well? He has Ewit. Ewit plus Double Forest.
Okay.
Cord for 4. Here.
Spell Snare 1 time? No, Spell Pierce.
Spell Pierce. Oh, 1 time Spell Pierce would be pretty not bad.
Yeah, alright, so the Lone Missionary is in play already.
Does the 4th Resto have to hit the board?
I believe so. I'm not entirely sure if there are 4 Restos in this. It does not look like there are.
Oh no. Shuffling, looking again. There's only 3 Restos? Damn. I think Vince doesn't. Wait, he's got something.
Oh, he has a scavenging ooze. But he can only ooze for what, 1?
Nope, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. He dies. He dies. All right, Elon, who should have killed Vince, well before Vince should have long killed Elon, is gonna take game 1.
Yeah, I'm. There are some different lines that could have been taken during that game that perhaps would have been better.
Okay, look, if Elon attacks twice with the Mutavaults, he wins, right?
Yes.
If Vince does literally anything other than attempt to get 3 red sources into play to combo.
Yeah, I think the key issue here was that Vincent tunnel visioned a little bit too hard on the combo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had so much power in play that I think the turn prior, even if he just attacked with everyone, like even on the ground, he just had enough dudes.
We're a little bit unsure. I think that Vince is going to get a stern talking to from both of us at the end of the evening.
And just to be perfectly clear, Vincent is good friends with both of us.
Yeah,
so,
no, we're gonna. It's gonna be. It's fine.
This ribbing is all in good fun.
Yeah.
But yes,
there were attacks and stuff. I mean, Vincent is pretty unfamiliar with the deck. His most commonly, like, I don't think he's played anything except Jeskai, like, for months. I actually think it's been months. I think he's played Jund a couple times, but he plays Jeskai in MTGO. He does not play Cord. He doesn't play Cord in paper either. Yeah,
this may very well be the first time Vincent has played Kiki-cord.
Yeah, I know he has the cards for it, but I just don't think that I don't think he has the number of reps on it that, like. And I mean, this is how you learn. It's just unfortunate that his learning his learning comes at our somewhat amusement.
Yeah, but again, this harkens back to one of the. A lot of people would like to put Kiki-cord together just because it is a very, very fun deck to play, and Jeff Hoogland did popularize it earlier this year. But it is also an extremely complex deck. We're only talking about the obvious lines.
Right.
There are a lot of much less intuitive lines that can also be taken.
Right, absolutely. I mean, I think that there are... Oh, I mean, of course, like we were talking about, there are all these lines. You can blink the Pontiff, you can blink the Missionary, that sort of thing. Right. There's only 3 resto, though, so once you get those all out... And it's unfortunate because if Vincent hadn't drawn the Kiki-Jiki, he would have corded for it a long time
if Vincent didn't, I think... And I thought perhaps what may have been, Panic Vincent? Yeah. He saw the Kiki-Jiki in hand and saw it completely
uncastable. And he's like, I need to make this castable.
Right.
When in reality, you could have just, killed Elon the fair way.
Mm-hmm. So, going back, when we saw Vincent, for example, Cord for the birds, he had a Cord for Archangel Avacyn, right?
Yeah. This is
standard All-Star Archangel Avacyn, by the way.
So this is your Cord deck, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Dan knowing what's in this deck, this card, Archangel Avacyn, sometimes it's just randomly amazing.
I mean, a lot of times, the thing with Archangel Avacyn, this fills a spot that a lot of people use with Selfless Spirit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Archangel Avacyn is very, very castable in this deck.
Right.
Like, you can just hold up 5 mana,
and flash it in.
And flash it in. And
flash is super good.
In response to a Supreme Verdict, indestructible on my team.
I'm tilting a little bit. But that's because I play Supreme Verdict.
And let's not... yes, the flip aspect of this deck, not necessarily the easiest way, but you do have P and K. You can trigger to flip yourself against, elves and stuff like that. It's, Kiki-cord is made so you can play spicy one-ofs. And this is certainly a spicy one.
This is indeed a spicy one. I mean, if you flip it, sometimes you kill your whole team.
The flipping is not great in this deck on account of it kills almost your entire board.
All your birds, all your stuff.
Every part of P and K, the front half of voices, the back half of voices, which might die if the front...
three damage marked on them with less than 3 creatures in play.
It's like there's significant danger in playing this card, but there's also a lot of upside.
I mean, I think it's great. Both players, it looks like mulled this 6 here.
And TX.
I guess it's legendary as a drawback. Yeah, dude, that's why everyone plays 4 of them. Oh.
No, it's actually a significant drawback because you can't Kiki-Jiki it.
You're right. You're right. You're 100% right.
Because
Dan.
if you could Kiki-Jiki it, you just indestructible for days.
Both players electing to keep. Vince gonna fall down to 19 here. The problem now is that Vince is on he will probably draw this match if he wins this game.
Yeah. I mean, game 1 took an inordinate amount of time.
This is true. Yes, Sarah Angel getting outclassed. Benjamin, not. It's sort of sad, right? Oh, you hit 4/4 flying vigilance. Oh well, mine has flash, and it flips into a 6/5.
I know this has been said many times when Archangel Avacyn was spoiled.
Yeah.
But imagine showing this card to a player 10, 15 years ago.
I mean, look, and also imagine how much text there would be on that card. You may cast this card anytime you may cast an instant. Archangel Avacyn does not tap to attack.
Yeah. I mean,
as Archangel Avacyn comes into play, creatures you control cannot be destroyed this turn.
Yeah, and I think it was in LSV's set review where he mentioned if you look at Archangel Avacyn, how many lines of text could you remove from it, and it would still be a good card?
I think a lot, actually.
Yeah, quite a few aspects of this card could be removed, and it would still be C play, right? The Vigilance obviously very good, but if you remove the Vigilance, still playable. If you remove the entire flip condition, probably still playable.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think if you remove the flash, probably still playable.
Just the indestructible.
I mean,
you don't even get value on that,
the
right?
thing is the flash and the indestructibles do sort of go together.
Yes.
But there are this like you said, Dan. This card is extremely playable in just look. It's overloaded.
Right.
So Vincent gonna attack here with a voice.
And Elon having to play the very sad turn 2 Aether Vial.
Right. And so Vince, this is a great start for him. I mean, we did see we did see last game a double voice start actually lose from Shay, but this double voice start is pretty strong here. I don't know if he can necessarily race, but it's not out of the question, especially if Elon does not have a Spreading Seas. Here he has a Master of the Pearl Trident.
Right.
So a Spreading Seas is critical here.
Yeah. All Vincent wants to do is trade this voice for something.
Yeah.
The back half of
a voice is so good at racing.
Right. It's also, the second half is not insignificant here either. Once we go to Vincent's turn, if Elon has Spell Pierces or Vapor Snags, there is a very heavy cost if you're trying to counter something here.
Yes, there is, Dan.
This used to be the answer to Snapcaster decks. I'm gonna make you play fair.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and Voice of Resurgence is super annoying. I've lost a lot of games to turn 2 voice. I mean, I've also never played a non-Snapcaster deck in my life, but that's my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Vincent drawing out Lightning Helix. Quite a good draw.
Lightning Helix pretty good, especially when you have the mana to cast it. Here comes the attack. Oh, come on, Vince. Please. Just one time.
And again,
one time attack. He has a Kiki-Jiki.
And again, draws a Kiki-Jiki.
I know. Okay, so here's blocks. So the thing is, right, is if you Helix the Master,
you can just eat it. But I don't know if you even want to do that.
No, you want the token, I think.
Yeah, we just upgraded this.
Yeah, this card is significantly better now. That is a 3/3, and Elon also falls to 16. So getting the damage in here. P and Kieran right now is insane.
Yeah, P and Kieran is here's a 6/6.
Yeah, so Elon gonna roll that vial up to the critical 2. Again, if he has a Spreading Seas in a land, he can attack for a fair bit.
Yes.
Because he has a second Lord in hand. But if he doesn't have a Spreading Seas, he's in real trouble.
Yeah, Island Walk is a lot less impressive when your opponent doesn't have an island.
Yeah. But here, so Elon is just going to actually cast a Lord of Atlantis, and we'll see if he has a Spreading Seas or not.
Okay. So.
And that Vincent looks like he's going to Helix the Master of the Pearl Trident.
Right, so I like this play a lot from Vincent, because if you let the Master resolve, then in response to the Helix, you can violin another one. So doing this in response, I like this play a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So now now Elon is no way he's ever going to make 4/4s unless he draws like another Lord.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna untap here.
At Nacho 823, I don't think we have elves in the room. Simon isn't here, and Isaac is on Eldrazi taxes, right?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I don't believe there are any elves in the room.
Vincent with an attack here just for 3. I sort of like trading the other voice token.
Yeah.
Or trading the other voice.
Yeah. There's also the potential block. Like if Vincent has a resto, if you try to block and Vincent has a resto angel, like here's a 4/4.
Oh, that's pretty good though.
So the Harbinger is pretty good. We'll pull it up here because it does have relevant text here.
Yep, gonna bounce that voice token to oblivion, as it were. Vince with a cord in hand, as we see, can cord for 2. Able to get Kasali Pride Mage if Elon does find a Spreading Seas. Wait, no, that came in off a vial.
Yeah, that did come off the vial.
Go. He does not get that token. So yeah, Voice of Resurgence does have a clause that you get a token if your opponent casts a spell on your turn, but Elon didn't actually cast a spell. He activated Aether Vial and put a creature into play, which is not the same as casting it, which is critical. And I mean, a lot of people do know this, but in case you don't, that is how the interaction works. And so yeah, so now we're gonna see. Okay, so yeah, Vince realizing his mistake, and going back to Elon's turn now. So, and I believe Vince showed Dan his hand, which is good because Dan will be able to tell us what the heck is going on. All right, good. We fixed it.
We did.
And did Vince show you his hand?
Yes, he also did.
What is in his hand, Dan?
His hand is Kiki-cord double cord.
All right. Well, I guess another land he can start cording for Ewit. This is going to be a Kira from Elon.
I really don't hate a cord for another for a Kasali Pride Mage right here.
To kill the Vial?
Just to give you insurance from Spreading Seas.
Sure.
And also, importantly, get you another body.
Wow. Okay, so these are some big creatures on Elon's side of the
these
board.
are some. Yeah, these are 4/4s.
This is an attack with 2 4/4s. I feel like you trade the voice here.
No, excuse me. These are not 2 4/4s. This is a 3/3 and
a 4/4.
Cord for Mirror Superior block.
No way.
I mean, it was in my list. Unless Vincent took it out, there is a Mirror Superior in this list.
Oh man, Mir Superior. I don't think it's there anymore, Dan. There's no way it's there. It can't be.
It's
there.
got to be there. No. Okay, so the Wall of Roots, you get a free block here, and it also is going to make your next cord much better. Your next cord is going to be for 4.
Right, which is just Resto.
Which is just Resto.
Which you Resto Kiki here. So wait, I think Vince just took 10. No, took 3 plus 4, 7.
So, yeah, he did have a free block, which I'm surprised he didn't block.
I am as well, but doing whatever here. So now we get Resto. Now we get to cord for Resto, untap and make a block, or like flicker something and block, like throw away your voice, and then like the next turn, hopefully at that point you've hit a land and can play Kiki. He does have triple red now.
Ugh. Yeah, taking that extra 4 damage from the
might matter.
Harbinger is going to matter though.
I agree.
But yeah, but having access to cord for 4 is, I mean, like, you also have a throwaway block. You can, cord for Ewit and double block.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you do have a throwaway block.
I do sort of like that if you do it with the voice token, right? Like, you do it with the voice.
But I mean, if you cord for Resto, you just have the win next turn, right? You literally have the win.
Yeah. Well, no, you have to draw land. Oh no! You can
make Wallroots.
So that's good. Okay, so now here comes another big swing, right? Like this is a lot.
Okay. Yeah, this is certainly a lot.
So it's 3. So it's 6 plus.
All right. So
8 is 14. This is for 14.
Yeah. So the Mutavault is a 6/6. The Harbinger is
the Mutavault is a 4/4.
The Mutavault is a 4/4. The Harbinger is a 4/4. And both these
Lords are 3/3.
Exactly.
So this is an attack for 14.
With Vincent on 13, but he does get
free blocks. Like Vincent has the winning line right now.
Yeah. You get a free block with the Wall of Roots. and you can put the burst in front of something and flicker it. Or you can put. I would prefer the voice of resurgence. Put the voice of resurgence in front of something and flicker it, just in case something goes terribly wrong.
Right, I agree.
And it looks like Vincent may have paused them before attacks.
Right, I think he's thinking about what he wants to do here.
Yeah.
Like Kira, makes removal pretty bad. He says, "Go ahead, go to attacks."
The only card that is good against Kira is Abrupt Decay.
This is true.
Yeah.
Vincent now going to.
Ooh, so one thing I don't like about this is Vincent should go the blocks first.
Yeah.
Because this means that he can't flicker.
No. Oh yeah, and save his guy from dying. Well,
save his guy.
But if he flickers it, it's an 0-5 again.
Yeah, which is fine.
Which means it won't die if it blocks.
Which doesn't matter. Okay, sure. But the 0-4 can block a 3-3. Although he might be playing around. No, he's not playing around another Lord off of Vial, right? Mm-hmm. Because then
I think he's looking at Lone Missionary though. I really hope it's not Pontiff.
He's looking
either.
for Pontiff?
No, Pontiff isn't good here.
Pontiff doesn't do anything here.
What does this do?
I mean, you take 4 less.
Did he board out his restos?
But also, importantly, Vincent didn't block first. If he blocked with the Voice of Resurgence and then Pontiff, that at least would kill a Lord.
Right. No, I agree.
This is just take 10?
Take 14.
No, it was 14 before. Is 4, 4, 3, 3?
It's 10.
Yeah, take 10?
Yeah, I don't know what Pontiff is doing here.
I'm very confused by this line that Vincent has taken, especially like not blocking with the voice. If you block one of the lords with the voice and then make this play, at least you trade.
Right.
And then you just have a 4/4 elemental.
So Vincent at 3.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I mean, Elon says go ahead, and I don't blame him, right? Like if that were a resto, Vince would win the game here.
Yeah, Did he board out? I mean, you can't board out Restos, right? That's one of the best cards.
I didn't necessarily. You know what? I didn't see anyone they were looking through. I didn't see anyone he was courting.
So this is a very real possibility. Vincent may have forgotten that Wall of Roots lets you court for 2.
No, because he put mana on it.
Yeah, but if Vincent thought this was only a court for 3, that line makes sense.
Oh, you're 100% right. Oh no! Oh no!
But even if Vincent only thought he could core for 3, he still should have blocked with the Voice of Resurgence.
Yeah, I agree. 100% agree. Got to go to blocks first. Okay.
Okay, so he's hard casting a Kiki-cord. This is fine.
You can make another blocker, right? You can.
You can make another blocker.
I mean, you're still dead though. Because Elon just has 4 attackers, all of which are lethal. Unless you make a Pontiff blocker. In which case...
The Pontiff blocker doesn't matter, right?
No, it does, because you can make one of the lords at 2-2 go to 1.
Right.
But if this is another Lord, Vince is just 100% dead.
Yeah, it's tapping 2. That's another Lord.
It's another Lord. Yeah, so I think he's owned the deck for a while, but he definitely hasn't played it a lot.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but again, there are a lot of lines here, and so long as Elon remembers, just turn all of them sideways. He has this game in the bag.
Sideways, yes. It is in the bag, as they say.
Yeah. So Vincent has 4 blockers on the ground.
Right. But there's 5... I guess he can...
Kira is only attacking for 2. So if he...
But he's still just dead
If
then.
he trades away his board, like... Oh, okay. No, so there are interesting blocks here. If he Kiki's the Pontiff, right?
Yeah.
And then puts... Oh, no. Since there's another Lord, these are enormous.
There's the
Lords are now 4/4s.
Right.
No, this works. He makes another Pontiff, right?
Okay.
Trigger. Shrink your team. Mm-hmm. Blocks, puts a voice in front of the Lord. Blocks with the Pontiff token, the Pontiff, and a wall.
Yeah.
Both of the Pontiffs are going to die. He's going to shrink his board by another -2/-2. The voice is going to kill a Lord, and that's going to cascade and kill the board.
Holy shit.
And then Vincent's going to be left at 1. This works.
Does it?
Yeah. So Vincent's going to take 2, go to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that he remembered the ETB trigger from the the
Force
Pontiff token.
Yeah.
No, so he's only gonna take one. He'll go to two. All the one with the voice, the Lord with the voice,
Yeah.
blocking it is gonna have 2 damage marked on it, and it's going to be a 4/4. There's going to be now 3. There's going to be
What the heck?
what?
No, he made a voice. He made a copy of voice.
He made a copy of voice. Okay. Oh no, actually that doesn't work because something he wouldn't have the power to kill anything.
Yeah.
But now Vincent. All right, so Vincent draws like a
He has to
PNK.
draw resto. Oh my god! Dan, please,
There's no justice in this world. There's no justice.
please. What? Oh my god!
There's simply no justice in this world.
Oh man!
And Elon shows him the Harbinger in hand.
But he doesn't. He
Yeah.
doesn't have a vial.
Doesn't have a vial.
Wait.
Oh wait, he does have a vial. Didn't he? There was a vial, right?
What? Oh, there is justice.
No, but this is just gonna be more than enough power on board.
No. What is there though?
Why is
No,
the
what?
Pontiff being bounced?
Because Pontiff was haunted under the Kiki-cord.
Oh well, the Pontiff should have died last turn.
It did die. He haunted the Kiki-cord with it.
Oh sure. This should be enough power, right?
To kill?
Okay, not to kill. No, he just blocks. This is 6 in the air. You just double chunk block the guys on the front.
I mean, the guys on the ground.
Oh,
are
also,
pretty big.
okay. So going back to last turn,
Yeah.
I did misspeak. Dirk would not have been cascading.
Yeah.
He was 1 point off from having
Okay.
cascading Orzhov Pontiffs.
Okay, so Vince is attacking here though for 13.
That's fine.
Yeah, Elon doesn't care.
Yeah, just
Vince
block.
is tapped out.
Yeah, just block any number of these things, and you have super mega lethal on the swing back. Super mega lethal.
Yeah. Oh, actually, this is real. Do they know that you don't get the haunt trigger if Kiki is bounced and doesn't die?
I will double check. There is a judge standing next to him, so I will go double check. They should be
Yeah.
aware of this interaction.
Yeah.
Then.
This is in time as well. So yeah, there's a judge, but Vincent gonna extend the hand. It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. Merfolk taking it down 2-0 over Kiki-cord. Yeah. Some very convoluted lines taken by both players. Wow. All right. I mean, we are going to go to round 3 pretty soon here. But yeah, that is the end of round 2. Merfolk taking it down very close to time in 2 games over Kiki-cord. What a match. We will see if we can get something interesting for y'all in the 3rd round, depending on, who won and lost their matches and stuff. Yeah, so Dan's out of the booth. I am going to do some overlay resetting here so I don't have to do it later. Sounds like people are... I mean, this should be the last match in the round, right? Like, there's... As far as I'm aware, they were at time. The judge, immediately gave them their slip, which suggests to me that we will be getting pairings and another match very shortly, question mark, hopefully. So, yeah, again, I think Vince definitely had some lines there that if he had more reps on the deck, he would have taken. But I also think in game 1, Elon just had Vince super dead before he could have taken those lines, so, you never know. That we might have seen a game 3 that way, that sort of thing. Yeah. Is Elon running Coral Helm Commander? Do you know? I actually don't know what Coral Helm... Is that the level up, dude? Oh, it is. All right. Yeah, so I don't think he's running Coral Helm Commander. It seems like this... It seems a little slow compared to you just get quality lords from... you just play, like, the Regeries, which lets you do stuff with untapping. You don't have to invest a lot of mana into them, right? They're just lords. They give you Island Walk. This one doesn't even give your team Island Walk, so, like, it's most comparable to Regerie. But, like, Regerie's tap-untap ability is so much more insane. Alright, pairings are up for the third round. Alright, so... Dan is back in the booth. Dan, who are we going to watch?
We're going to be watching Aaron play against Sydney.
All right, and do you know what this matchup is?
I, in fact, do not.
All right.
I believe Sydney is on Jund.
Okay, well, that should be good. I know Sydney plays everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see Jund versus something, right?
Mm-hmm. Should be an interesting match.
And Aaron is 2-0, so whatever he's doing tonight appears to have worked so far.
Mm-hmm. Excited to get at the very least we're gonna get some different decks here. Oh, right. And going back to chat, if anyone has any recommendations on like what they would like to see, we'll try to get it on camera here.
Yeah, we did have that one request for Elves earlier, and Cubs fan unfortunately got here too late to see the Lantern match, but we haven't had anything yet. So let us know. Let us know, chat. So players sitting down here, I believe that's Sydney on the right there. Yeah, that's him. All right. So we'll get this overlay squared away, and we will get us on to a game. And on the left, we have Aaron Landsman. I'm not familiar with him, but... Do you know him from other Magic things, Dan?
I'm afraid not. He's actually one of the newer players at the shop.
Awesome. Always good getting new blood in here, getting new decks through. There's like no one at the shop who like plays Affinity, right? Which is like something that's just completely...
But that's actually kind of reflected in the larger meta.
Really?
Affinity, I mean...
Fallen off a little bit?
Has fallen quite heavily off. At the Invitational, not only did I, not play against Affinity, didn't see Affinity at any of the tables.
Really? Wow, that's super surprising.
Did a bit of walking around, just saw zero Affinity. It's just like, if you wanted to play aggro this weekend, there was just many other choices that people defaulted back into.
I mean, I guess it's like what do you think is keeping people off the deck?
I just think like a lot of people feel that, Dredge is just more aggressive, or Suicide Zoo is just more aggressive, or
right. And also, Dredge is way more inevitable.
Right.
Like you don't like run out of cards on Dredge unless you're in some real deep trouble.
Mm-hmm. Cyprin, welcome to Modern. What did you buy into?
Yeah, we're also interested to hear. Mm-hmm. Getting into Modern, I got in on Twin, and now I currently play Blue Red X stuff. Sometimes Grixis, mostly Jeskai. Yeah, everyone's got their start on here. In on Infect. Well, you picked a really good deck.
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with Infect. It's one of the best decks in Modern, and it has
been for some time, right?
Right.
Like one of the few decks that's really done that.
It's just like when you play good cards on curve.
Yep. So this looks... Oh, wait. So remember when I said there aren't Affinity players in this shop?
Speak of the devil.
Oh, it's here. So double Vault Scourge turn 1. Pretty good.
Yeah. Aaron's going to fall to 16 from that play, but should be recovering a lot of these pretty quickly.
Wow.
Now, I guess...
I feel silly now, but I swear, guys, this is the first time I've seen this guy in the shop with Affinity.
It is going to be a little bit... Jund is the one deck in the format that can really punish you for a play like this, because it's the only deck that runs Maelstrom Pulse.
This is true. Yeah. Maelstrom Pulse is pretty good. We also, I think there is another Vault Scourge in hand there, and there's also another Mox Opal, which is a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to run the Vault Scourge out. Like, you're not playing this card to hold it in your hand, right?
No fear.
No fear. Can't have fear.
Wait, there's another thing. Okay, that's pretty good.
Oh, okay. That's very good.
Jund does not interact well with this card, everybody.
I mean, you do have Liliana. You're one of the few decks in the format that can kill it.
Right, I mean, but the thing is, you have to pulse the dudes and get him to tap out of his manland.
Yes. No one said it was easy.
Yeah, okay.
No one said it was easy. But you can deal with it.
Now, if Aaron has a plating here, this game's going to end in a very, very quick fashion.
Well, Aaron does have, a board that Sydney can't interact well with. The clock is also very slow.
It is 4 turn. Yeah. You're right.
Now, if Sydney doesn't have a bolt in hand, though...
Plating.
Yeah. It's interesting, because Jund is, one of the few decks that can also deal with the main deck plating.
Right, of course. Yeah. You have Abrupt Decay and stuff.
Right. Abrupt Decay is just such a good catch-all answer for everything that the format is trying to do.
Agreed. But I don't see the plating in Aaron's hand. I think he might just fire up this Blink Moth and attack. Yeah, and he will. This is for 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not inconsiderable, and it's difficult to interact with, but the bolt will kill the manland.
Yep.
Sydney down to 14, Aaron back up to 20. Has recovered from taking Vault Scourge damage. Hasn't played the other Vault Scourge yet. Yeah, so the Darksteel Citadel's tapped. Aaron going to presumably... I don't know. He might run out the other Mox Opal here. I don't know how what Affinity does in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so he's gonna go to
18.
18. All right, so Sydney, Maelstrom Pulse, like a champ.
A one-time Maelstrom Pulse.
One time. Is there justice? Sydney wants to know too. Dan, what do you think about justice in this world?
There is no justice.
That's there was. Vince didn't win with that last race. All right, 2 mana.
Okay.
Tarmogoyf.
It looks like he may have drawn the Goyf that turn.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about this draw. He also missed a land drop.
Yeah.
But I am very not super excited about this Tarmogoyf. I mean, that being said, Aaron is also drawing pretty dead here. He's got a Springleaf in hand, a Glimmer Void, and another Opal. So, he can attack for 5.
Yeah, this attack for 5 is...
Send the champion.
Yeah. Okay, so Aaron is not attacking with the champion. I much prefer the attack with champion.
I do as well. You're very much in a long game.
You're very much in a race here.
Yeah. But gonna play the Springleaf Drum and pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Glimmer Void as well, so got 1 card in hand. Sydney's gonna take a draw step. Again, land Maelstrom Pulse is insane.
Mm-hmm. Looks like he did draw a land, though.
Yep, he drew a basic too, so no damage. Sydney, incidentally, 0 damage from his basics this game.
Yep.
Or from his lands, which is, it's pretty uncommon, I would say, in the Jund list.
Yeah, I
Maelstrom Pulse. 1 time.
Is that K-Command?
Yeah, ooh, K-Command's really good too.
K-Command's fine too.
He's gonna pass it back. I'm gonna put it on K-Command.
Okay.
Kill 1, kill the other.
I mean, at 3 mana...
I think you might be doing it on upkeep. It is K-Command.
Yeah. So, Aaron has cards in hand, so the discard doesn't matter as much. So, K-Command would...
You just kill 2 of his Vault Scourges.
Just kill 2 Vault Scourges.
Aaron's going to draw. I think he found a Darksteel Citadel. So, this is the thing. This is the other thing with Affinity, right? Is you get into these, It's definitely... Oh, wait. I think that might be a Ravager. Ooh, that's really good. Ravager's good, but Sydney can, K-Command in response to the cast.
Yeah. Sydney definitely has the K-Command in response to this.
Boop.
Now... The Ravager is a particularly good draw because with Aaron with an extra Opal in hand,
that's free.
Yeah, the Opal
it's free. It's free damage. Yeah. So Aaron's gonna run that out here. Yeah, Kolaghan's Command is gonna hit the table. Very powerful effect. Just so good against Affinity, and it is main deckable, right? Yes. That's the thing is you can't main deck Stony Sounds, but you can certainly main deck Kolaghan's Command and not be embarrassed.
Mm-hmm. But this is still gonna be quite scary.
It's pretty good.
Now Aaron. I believe does have a manland under that Opal.
No, it's a Darksteel.
Oh, is it just Darksteel?
It's just a Darksteel.
Okay, so now we're getting into territory that a good Liliana might be able to kill this at champion. This Goyf also has gotten substantially bigger.
Yes, it is now.
We have added creature artifact and instant.
Sure.
It's now I believe a 5/6.
So we have instant, creature, artifact. Instant creature artifact.
Land.
What's the land?
Oh, it must be. It's the Ink Moth that was killed.
Oh, the Blink Moth. Yeah, you're right.
Blink
okay.
Moth, yes.
So it is a 4/5. You're
yes.
right. But Aaron not attacking with this at champion. Really, really don't like it.
Yeah, especially Jund. short of possibly a Kitchen Finks in the main, you're just not gaining life. I guess there's
Scoos.
Scavenging Ooze as well, but
Maybe he's waiting to go like all in with the Ravager, but like I don't like that either. This is a Liliana of the Veil, and it will hit the table in minus.
yeah.
So gonna probably just like trade your Vault Scourge. You have to.
Yeah, you just have to sack the Vault Scourge here.
Yeah, and this is the thing is if he had been attacking with Edge Champion.
Okay.
Okay, this is also good.
This play is fine too.
I don't like putting it there. I like it on the Edge Champion.
I like it on Edge Champion, and I also like sacking the Opal first.
I do as well.
Just because you have and actually even the Springleaf Drum. These are just things that cards
Don't matter.
well past the point where they're useful.
Agreed. Attack for 2 with the Vault Scourge, takes Liliana off the table. And go to 22. See, the thing is, right, is like Sydney would be at 4 life right now if he had been attacking with the Edge Champion.
Yes.
Right? Like blocking the Goyf is not doing anything.
This Tarmogoyf dice is a little bit incorrect now. This should be a 5/6.
No, I think it's a 6/7 now, right? Ooh, another Lily. Pretty good.
This is pretty good.
And down goes the Vault Scourge.
All right.
Again, I think that like Sydney is. I think Sydney is dead or almost dead. If Aaron had been more aggressive with his etched.
No, I completely agree.
I
And
just like you have to attack. Oh, he drew a plating. Okay.
the plating's gonna do work.
Can he kill him this turn? He would be able to if he had been attacking, but I'll stop harping on that.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, plus the plating is 5 plus 2 base, so 7.
Yeah.
So he can do 7 damage right now.
Yes.
Wait, he can play the Springleaf in his hand? Question mark. No, he can't. Okay, no, he can do 7 damage here. You have to play the plating, and you just have to hit Sydney, right? Like
yeah.
Sydney. Even if Sydney has Abrupt Decay, like for next turn, you still are very close to killing him with any artifact.
Mm-hmm. Now, unfortunately, we haven't been able to see Sydney's hand. But if he had, any removal spell, I almost like it, like trying to kill the Vault Scourge first.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he had, access to anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if he did, then this is one of the few ways you can kill an Edge Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very difficult to kill an Edge Champion.
Of course. Yeah, plating into play. Put it on your champion. All right, so let's just do a quick count. So 2 base power from the champion.
Mm-hmm.
Champion, plating, Drum, Darksteel, Opal, so 7.
Yep.
Okay.
5 artifacts in play plus base 2 power.
Whoop. Rotate for 7.
All right.
Now Sydney's going to go to 3, and he would be dead if the Edge Champion had been attacking.
Yeah. But Sydney actually has a good number of outs. He
Right.
has the
He has to get rid of the. He has to. Another Lily is obviously the nuts.
another Lily. Abrupt Decay will buy you time. A K command will also buy you time.
Abrupt Decay is really good because if you don't have a way to buff the Edge Champion's power, you do get another turn to plus the Lily.
Yeah. So it looks like Sydney has Grim, Lavamancer, Kalidas, Thoughtseize, Bob,
So
Anger of the Gods.
Anger is not good enough, and he can't cast it.
Anger is neither good enough, castable, or does anything.
That's true.
It-
Plus discard. Aaron, thinking about it, I didn't see what he put into his yard, but that's fine. Sydney gonna scoop it up. So Aaron Landsman does win game 1, Affinity over Jund. Post board, obviously, this gets better for Jund.
Yeah, and given the context of Sydney's hand, I almost would have preferred playing the Grim Lavamancer instead of the second Liliana. That means that the next turn, if you draw a land, you can
shoot the Vault Scourge
shoot
and
Vault
Edict
Scourge
the
and eat
champion.
it. Right.
Yeah, agreed.
As it turns out, Sydney could not hit the 4th land drop, so it just didn't matter.
Didn't matter, yeah.
Yeah. Also, notably, was off of double red the entire time.
Yeah,
or would
which
have
is
taken,
pretty hard.
Yeah.
He could have angered on that board, yeah. Dan gonna step away for just a brief moment, leaving y'all in the booth with just me. Thanks everybody for coming out and watching the stream tonight. If you're just tuning in for the first time, this is MTGCardmarket Wednesday Night Modern. We are a shop on the north side of Chicago off the Belmont Red Line stop, and there are events here basically every night during the week, and sometimes on the weekends as well. However, we are currently the only night streaming. So yeah, if you're in the Chicagoland area, definitely come by. Give the shop a look see. It opens at 2 p.m. every day, I believe, and stays open pretty late most nights because of events. The staff is super friendly, and yeah, we love having new people come into the shop for any sort of Magic. There's here. I walked in today and guys were playing like actual Vintage, just like here's my Mox Opal Vintage sort of Vintage. or not Mox Opal. Here's like my Mox Diamond or Mox Pearl and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Got to watch that. People jam Commander and stuff. Definitely a good place to check out if you're in the area. So Dan is back, and Dan, as the Jund expert, what do you like in the board here?
All right, so the Jund board depends exactly what is in Sydney's sideboard, but almost certainly there's going to be some number of Ancient Grudges. There might be a Shadow Storm. Night of Soul's Betrayal is not unreasonable here. And then just generally more removal. Your creatures are certainly better, and there's only a couple cards in the Affinity 75 that actually matter.
Right, it's Plating, Champion, Ravager.
Yes, those are the key cores, and then post board, we also have the Aether Grid that
Yeah, Aether Grid's
can
pretty
do
good.
work. It does tax your Abrupt Decay quite heavily, but other than that, a lot of the cards in this deck just simply do not matter.
Yeah, I mean, you're not, Springleaf Drum, fine, whatever. Yeah. Interestingly, from Aaron, I know that I have a friend who plays Affinity frequently, has been testing a Kaladesh card in it, Bomat Courier. He sometimes says it's fine, and other times he's like, this is the worst thing I've ever done with my life. So I don't know if we'll be seeing it from Aaron, but it's, it's spicy. Don't play it in Affinity, guys. I don't think it's actually good. Shout out to Jake.
Yeah, I certainly would not play this in Affinity.
Yeah, it's probably not that good.
the areas where this is like even reasonable are so slim.
Dan, hush.
This I mean, to put it frankly, this seems atrocious.
Yeah, dude, but what happens when you're hellbent and then you ancestral with it?
But you won't ancestral with it. You would just draw one card from it because it will be blocked by literally anything.
I mean, what if they have to block your other stuff? Okay, look, I get it. It's bad. It's bad, and I should feel bad, everybody. Yeah. But here's shuffling up. Gonna see some cuts. By the players, and Sydney will be on the play here. That can matter sometimes because you can sometimes turn one Inquisition them and take their critical piece before it gets on the board. Like Ravager, obviously super sticky, hard to deal with when it's on the board because of the moving counters and stuff. But in the hands, that trades for IOK.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And really just getting the information is incredibly important.
Mm-hmm. You got to know if that bolt can just go ham or not.
Mm-hmm.
Turn on Grim Lavamancer is not bad though.
Not bad either.
We
can see in Aaron's hand he has a Steel Overseer, and that just doesn't match up very well against the Grim
Assuming
Lavamancer.
Sydney can put cards in the yard, I agree with you.
Yeah.
There's also a Plating in Aaron's hand, but I don't know if he has any acceleration.
This is a very risky play if Aaron doesn't have more to follow this up with.
He has a Vault Scourge too. He's fine.
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay. This is fine.
Yeah. So now, gonna go. Also gonna go to 18 here. But agreed. I have had opponents go Glimmer Void Memnite pass, and then I kill their Memnite. I mean, granted, that wasn't in a top 8 of anything.
Yeah,
But it's not. It can be very scary with Glimmer Void sometimes because you have to expose it.
Yeah, in the top 8 of GP Indianapolis, I believe, Affinity was playing against Valakut.
Yeah.
And went turn 1 Glimmer Void and Springleaf. An opponent played Mountain, Simian Spirit Guide, Ancient Grudge.
That seems a good way to lose the game.
Yeah, and then Affinity player proceeded to just miss the next 4 land drops.
Is that a Twilight Mire?
That does look like a Twilight Mire, yes.
Okay. Attack for 1 here from the Lavamancer. 2 mana follow-up. Gonna be an Inquisition. Yeah, it is a Twilight Mire because you have to float black. So, gonna look at the hand here. Steel Overseer, land. Okay, so no plating. Okay.
Yeah,
take your Overseer, obviously.
Yeah,
right?
pretty easy pick here on account of there really only being one option.
Right. This is not a good hand for Aaron. I would say that it's you have one too many lands. You want that to be something else. You also have a you're not really. This isn't exciting unless your Overseer lives, which it probably won't.
Right.
Draws a Darksteel Citadel. So
again, no payoff card. Steel Overseer, in some worlds, can get there if it left unanswered, but against John, that seems very unlikely. Mm-hmm. I would have perhaps been tempted to mulligan this hand.
I would have as well, I think, but I also don't know how to play Affinity, so like don't take my advice.
It's just, your explosive draws are so powerful that keeping a mediocre hand like this, like look at this play. Like if
Sydney kills the Overseer, like it's real bad.
If Sydney even just plays fetch land.
Right. I don't think I think he has Bolt though. Yep, he's got Bolt. Okay. So this Overseer's not going to live.
Right. He's got Bolt into
He doesn't have activation though. So he's just going to attack here.
Right.
Aaron going to go to I guess he goes to 6. Oh no, he blocks the Ornithopter, so and then Bolt's going to clean up the Overseer, so
I mean, this is a free block, right? No fear.
Yeah. Wait, so yeah, he still has empty.
Alright.
All right. So did you see what he drew?
That was either a Vault Scourge or
it's a champion.
Champion
Pretty good.
Champion pretty good.
I mean, not super fast. It's actually interesting. It's pretty interesting that like champion is a very strong card and it doesn't it's very difficult to interact with. But champion also is really slow as a bear.
Right.
You need champion really
you need the Ravager.
You need the Ravager or the plating. Yep. And the thing is Sydney's fortunate because he has a Springleaf Drum in play, but Aaron's fortunate because he has a Springleaf Drum in play. But like his creatures will start dying to the Grim Lavamancer here.
Mm-hmm. No, what Sydney needs to draw is really needs to start applying pressure.
Yeah.
Without a 2-drop, and keep in mind this deck does play at least 12 of them.
Right, a lot of them.
Well, not 12 of them.
A lot of them.
Quite a few.
He's going to pass the turn back here.
Yeah.
Draw step.
So just looking in chat here.
Oh, he drew a Ravager.
Yeah, so just looking in chat here, Jund is fairly expensive. I mean, it is the most expensive deck in Modern, but one trend you will notice that a lot of people who own Jund bought in very early. A lot, like for me, example, I played during RTR in Strad, so I just had the Lilianas from then. I had all the Shocklands from that. You could trade into the fetches, and then Goyfs are really the only big piece of it. Now, Goyfs and Bobs are the expensive part of it once you have the mana base and the Lilianas. So, in pieces, if you build it over time in pieces, it's not terrible. And as for Legacy, High Tide is,
pretty bad. Faline Longmore is the only person who ever should play that deck.
And I haven't seen her play it in, over a year.
Yeah, I actually don't really follow Legacy, but all I know is that Faline Longmore is the only High Tide player who's allowed.
There's so many powerful things you can do in Legacy, and that is not very high up on the list of.
I mean, you have to have 4 lands in play, right? You do need 4 lands in play. I know this because I watched the video. Faline Longmore wins with High Tide, but every time they say High Tide, it gets faster. Very, very good video. Everyone, I highly recommend it.
Okay, so Sydney gonna fire off a Maelstrom Pulse here. So this is actually an interesting decision.
I don't like eating anything. Your champion's too vulnerable.
Right. So you have a Darksteel, that's safe. You have Etch, that's safe.
You have a Springleaf Drum, not safe. That's not safe, my guy.
Right. If you eat the Springleaf, then the Ornithopter is what's keeping your Etch champion safe.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So okay. And let's not forget, you're a double Glimmer Void too.
Darksteel Citadel.
Yeah, there are ways of dealing with a Darksteel.
In Jund?
You could play Unravel the Aether.
Dan, stop. All right.
I have played tournaments with an Unravel to deal with an opposing Karanos.
Okay, I feel. Okay, Inkmoth next is the draw here.
Okay. Inkmoth, if we have to shift gears, that is one way to do it.
It is. I mean, the other, I guess, Sydney is just... the other thing that Inkmoth can do is it can animate itself to turn on Metalcraft, which is sort of sneaky. Block here with the Ornithopter on the Lavamancer.
Yeah, Aaron never failing to...
Dude, he's not afraid of... Ooh,
this play actually gets value.
So, I mean, they're going to kill both of those. That champion is a 2/2 thanks to that Ravager.
Right, so because Aaron made the block, it will trade with the Grim Lavamancer.
Alright, I'm going to search Knight of Soul's Betrayal. I messed up the apostrophe again. Alright, did it. Great, this is Knight of Soul's Betrayal, guys.
Okay, so the Inkmoth, no longer a good draw. The Ornithopter, not a good draw.
I mean,
Oh,
no, no, please. One time.
Well, Sydney is going to remind him that it will die.
Woo! State-based actions.
Yes. Unfortunately, that is a painful lesson for Aaron to learn, but it's not going to matter too much here.
No.
So
Attack.
Yeah, attack for 2. Now, here's the problem with Etch Champion. The only card good against it is Liliana.
Yeah.
But Liliana is hideously bad against, like, most boards.
Yeah.
So the question is,
do you board it out or not?
how many have been left in?
How afraid are you?
Right.
Do you have no fear? 4 mana. Kalidas.
Kalidas?
Okay,
Okay.
this races.
Yeah, this is a 2/3 Kalidas.
Oh, it's a 2/3 rate. They're just gonna bounce off each other forever. Blank Moth. Not good.
Yeah, Aaron's attacks are, you attack for 2, and then Sydney attacks for 2 and gains 2.
Right.
Also, his
removal's pretty good.
His removal spells are now very, very good.
Yikes.
Okay.
Man, Chad is on a full legacy kick. We love you, Chad.
Right,
Don't worry. Attack for 2. Sure.
Yep. No good blocks here.
16.
16 9.
I mean, Aaron has to keep attacking because, like, what else are you doing, right?
Yeah.
4 mana, though. Whoop.
4 mana Crumble.
Crumble your Darksteel Citadels?
Oh, that is not going to work.
What?
I believe Crumble reads Destroy
Crumble
Target
Exiles. Crumble Exiles, dog.
This is an Exile Target land? Or this is a Destroy Target?
No, it's Exile.
Oh, Exile Target. Okay.
It's really
That's
good.
Fine. Ooh, yeah, this, so now,
Metalcraft's still on.
Middlecraft is still on, but we're getting close to the point where...
Sydney, though, thinning Aaron's deck for him to draw play... No, that's not true. That's not how that works, but...
It is technically true.
I mean, okay. By the smallest amount, he's, taking these out of the deck. Yeah, this does make Edge Champion more vulnerable, folks. It's really good. If he kills this Ornithopter, then, like, Aaron's in trouble.
I'm really surprised to see Sydney boarded in a Crumble, though.
I am as well, but, like...
It's just simply a little too slow for what you want to do.
I don't disagree.
And unless Sydney boarded out all of his Bobs, it also increases the CMC of your deck.
I don't know. He might have boarded out his Bobs, but I sort of like the Bobs, because you just, like, draw all your bolts, right? Like, you want to draw the removal.
Yeah. But, okay. This is the play that was made, so we will go with it.
I mean... So now we're going to go to Aaron's turn. He's going to draw.
Right.
I mean, if he rips a plating at any point... Ravager's also bad now, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Ravager just reads put a counter or something.
Okay. Well, I mean, that does help Aaron race.
Yeah.
Although he still loses the race. It's 9 turns to 8 if he has a Ravager.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's important pointing out that Kalidas has lifelink, which makes this race much...
Yeah, also,
less...
wait, no, if he plays Ravager, this Kalidas is like make a zombie and then it's bad.
Right.
No,
because the modular is a death trigger, so you don't even get the counter.
Ooh, so don't play Ravager anymore.
Do not play Ravager. Ravager would be a very bad play.
Man, dude, we're constantly learning things in the booth.
Well, no, that interaction I do. I do remember.
I mean, it's more like we're just realizing it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Mox Opal. And I mean, the thing is, right, is you can just hold the champion back to block the Kalidas and hope you rip something, but Sydney's rips are going to be way better.
Yeah. And I mean, like, yes, you can block the Kalidas, but he's still...
He's not gaining
life.
he
won't gain the life.
No,
he will not. It's pro colors. Yeah, so... Sydney will eventually draw into something.
Oh, no. No mercy. We got to swing.
Right.
We got to put him back to 7. Not sure this is profitable.
So, I mean, if Sydney
draws removal...
If Sydney draws a bolt, he can bolt the Ornithopter and then sack the zombie.
Yeah, I agree. Attack.
So Aaron is... Oh,
whoops. No, he's
pretty much
14.
just drawing to Galvanic Blast. He's drawing to Cranial Plating.
Uh-huh.
That's about it.
Cranial Plating's pretty good. That's a Kitchen Finks.
Kitchen
Sydney
Finks?
going to go up to 11.
Yep.
And now he races even harder. Does not... Like, it gets to persist. He gets the life, but he doesn't get the body again. I can't tell if he drew a plating or not.
Cletus is one-sided.
Yeah, but there's a knight.
Yes.
It comes back with a counter and then dies immediately.
He's just going to get 2 life from the next ETB.
Yeah. here we go.
Yeah, Aaron no longer can attack. Like, if he attacks,
No,
he's
he
just
has
going
to
to be hit for 4 on the swing back.
Right, Knight of Souls Betrayal, pretty good card.
Yeah, it's really... I mean, getting to 4 is somewhat of a problem for Jund. Like, there are certainly draws where you just never hit that 4th land drop.
I mean, he's on 5 now, though. 2 mana. Oh, this might be it. Oh, there it is. Okay, this is real.
All right.
Sydney needs to find that decay.
I mean, he has decay mana up.
Right, but does he have decay?
That's a good question.
Do. Spooky. Equip. Or that's okay. So he's tapping like that. He's gonna equip. Metalcraft a little bit safer now. I guess super safe with like 5 artifacts in place. So now the champion has a power of 2, and it's gonna get +5.
So attack for 7.
Oh, he's leaving up. He's leaving up equip.
Yeah. So with double glimmer, does he have? He has opal.
He has opal void.
So he can equip at instant speed.
Right.
Which just doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So I really don't like this attack.
I don't either, because if he kills your Ornithopter, you're so far behind on damage.
Yeah, if he kills you, it just like Bolt does it, Abrupt Decay does it,
Abrupt Decay.
Terminate does it.
Abrupt Decay, you hit the plating though. So how much is this for? Let's figure this out. This is an attack for 7.
This is still an attack for 7. Yes.
Okay. I mean, it looks like Sydney's gonna have to take it and go to 4.
But
he's in trouble.
Yeah, but this equip on the Ornithopters.
I agree with you. I think it's much more risky.
Yeah.
The Dream. I drew a Thoughtseize. That's not good.
Thoughtseiz's not good.
Kitchen Finks again.
Another Kitchen Finks?
Also not good.
He will go to 8 though. Kitchen Finks will put him up to 6, and then attack with Kalidas will put him up to 8.
Oh, that's true. Okay, but I mean, if Aaron has any artifact,
Sydney is now dead to any artifact.
Aaron gonna go to 10. Sydney at 8.
So dead draws for Aaron are lands, and another Mox Opal. Lands, Mox Opal.
I mean, if Sydney does, and the other thing
That's about it. Yeah.
if Sydney doesn't have it now, like Aaron, like you just turn him sideways again, right?
Yep.
No fear. Can he kill his own Finks?
I don't think Sydney has removal. If he had removal, he would have killed the Ornithopter there.
Right, and made a zombie. Draw step.
Okay.
I don't know what he drew.
The only thing that
Glimmer Void is a dead draw. Any land is dead.
Any
land is dead. Any opal is dead.
No, there's no Dark Seals left.
LOL.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Oh no, Sigma Pest dies.
No.
Oh
No, zombie token.
so,
No.
all right, no. This is extremely important though, because the zombie token now means that Sydney will gain 2 more life every turn.
I agree. He's very close to dead though.
No,
this is
now
an attack for 7 again.
So Sydney goes to 1, but now attacks for 8.
He doesn't have another Kitchen Finks ETB, but yeah, he attacks for 8. He can make the Kalidas. He can go back up to. He can go to 5, but then he just dies. So he has to draw something.
Yeah.
Oh no! So Sydney at 1. Aaron sort of shaking his head, forgetting about the Knight of Souls Betrayal.
So Sydney is live draws.
Yeah, what were we talking about? There were so many dead draws. Like Vault Scourge is super dead. The Knight of Souls Betrayal is pretty good. What do you draw? I can't tell. I mean, literal, like any removal is super good.
Bolt is lethal. K Command is. K Command is not lethal because he doesn't have enough mana to. Oh no, K Command is lethal. So Bolt is lethal. K Command is lethal. Seal of Fire is lethal.
Here goes the sack. Two counters on Kalidas.
Yeah.
Swing for 8.
Abrupt Decay is good. Terminate is not good.
Gonna go to 5.
Yeah.
Oops. Aaron gonna go to 2.
P and K also live draw. No, P and K not a live draw.
He tapped all his mana.
Yeah, P and K not a live draw.
Okay, spells? Anything?
I see it. Anger.
No double red.
Oh, is that a bolt in hand?
I can't
That
tell.
can't be a bolt.
There's no way that's a bolt.
If bolt, you're dead.
Yeah. Bolt him. Anything would be a good draw. IOK. It's an IOK plus stuff.
Pulse would have been a very good draw as well.
Oh, man. Just attack, right? If you're Aaron, you just hit him with your dudes.
Yep.
Whoop. Nope. Do the attack. Go.
There's nothing to play around. There's nothing.
You have just to attack here, or you lose the game.
Yeah, if you hold back blockers, you will lose the game.
Why would you hold back blockers? That seems bad. He's going to put the plating on the champion instead.
Okay.
And just crack. I like this. It means that, like, your damage isn't vulnerable with the Ornithopter.
I mean, but he has, like, instant re-equip anyways.
Agreed. I agree. You're not wrong.
Alright, this is definitely lethal.
This is super dead.
This is for 7 again. Attacking with the Ornithopter did not add any power.
Yeah, And Sydney's going to give him the handshake. That's going to do it for this match. You want to go real quick and see if we can get a third game in from somewhere else? All right, so, yep, Affinity going to get it. 2-0 over Jund there. Jund just missing that one removal spell. Just the one more that would have done it. You know, which obviously, like, kill your anything would have been really good earlier on. You know, with the Cletus out, it's super big because then you'd, like, attack for lethal, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, unfortunate for Sydney there. Is going to lose this one 2-0. Affinity continuing to power through here tonight. Again, as I was saying earlier, this is, like, the first time I've seen Affinity at the shop in a very long while. So, that's good. Yeah, so Dan is going to go out into the world, and is going to, he's going to go out and see if we can get another match. Emperor Calgar. What would a creature with the rules text, other creatures get -1, other creatures get -1/-1? Look at, whew, well, so Pontiff exists, and it's not a permanent thing, and Pontiff costs 3. So if it were going to be a static effect, it'd have to be like a 1/1 for 5, I feel like. Like, Knight of Souls Betrayal plus 1 mana for a 1/1 body. Pretty good, though, right? Like, you can cord. Yeah, Sulfur Elemental exists. So, like, somewhere between, like, 5 and 7. I do not know. Yep. So, alright, and so we've got, yeah, alright, we've got all these suggestions rolling through. Lots of card pool knowledge here tonight. This is good. 'Cause I definitely do, my knowledge is definitely not that deep. But yeah, Massacre Worm exists, Elish Norn exists. I don't know if anything else really does. Mind Bend. Alright, Benjamin Bear, you did it. You made me put Mind Bend into my search bar, so every time I type in M, I have to look at Mind Bend. Oh, that's not Mind Bend. Is this Mind Bend? Wow. Woo. Oh, this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Change the text of what? Ooh. Okay. Well, Mind Bend would only change Sulfur Elemental to one thing or another, right? But I can't change the text. Target permanent, replacing. Ooh. Do we have a match, Dan? No. We're currently talking about how much would a creature have to cost if it read all other creatures get -1/-1.
Ooh, that's an interesting effect.
We've had some suggestions so far. I said, Knight of Souls Betrayal plus a 1/1 body is 5 mana, right?
Alright. Alright, well, Matt has stepped out of the room, so just to grab something real quick. Oh, Crovax. Alright. This, I will bring this up. Yes. So, I guess one of the things that is really notable in Modern is that you get access to a ton of absurd things once you pass 5 mana. This is certainly one of the, but when we're in the Crovax territory, we may as well be getting Elish Norn.
Oh, a Crovax Ascendant Hero. What a card. Yeah, so
Affinity matchup.
yeah, so I don't know. Krovax is good.
Yeah. So it looks like we have about 12 minutes left in the round here. So we may be every match is in between.
Game 3 in conclusion.
Yeah, game 3 in
Okay.
conclusion. So it looks like we'll take a short break here.
6-7 minutes.
Yeah, about 6 minute break here. We'll let everyone go use the restroom and grab some water. We'll do the same as well, and then we'll return right after that.
Yep. 6 minutes. We will be right back.
Yeah, we thank everyone for joining us tonight, and we'll be right back.
Picture this, your entire SoundCloud collection, tracks, and playlists, all synced to your phone and available anywhere, with service or without. That dream's a reality with SoundCloud Go. Start your free 30-day trial today.
Blind devotion, empty notions. Like a roaring ocean, slow in motion. Lay down your troubled mind. We are only guide and will kindly cease to be as we intertwine with the universe and its cosmic symphony. The smoke lingers after fire. The smoke lingers after fire. Blind devotion, empty notion. Like a roaring ocean, slow in motion. The smoke lingers after fire. Lay down your troubled mind. We are only guide and will kindly cease to be as we emerges from beneath the sand. The instant technique seems so far away. Across this universe, she lives another day. I know the reason she stays. I know the reason she's so far away. I know the reason she stays. I know the reason she's so far away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here, coming up on our fourth round at MTGCardmarket Wednesday Night Modern. So this week, randomly, I guess, there were spoilers for Aether Revolt.
Yeah, I mean, we are entering into the spoiler season for Aether Revolt, and there are quite a few exciting ones.
Yeah, there's I think, what is it, the 4/4 people calling like the new copter. I'm not sure it's fills the same role necessarily, but it seems like it could be pretty powerful.
Yeah, 2 mana 4/4 legendary vehicle. You can flying in vigilance. Crew 3, which is going to be quite a big cost, but you can remove a loyalty counter from Planeswalker to crew it. And
That's pretty good.
And this is going to be extremely important in that it's going to be a vehicle that is a substantial body attacking and blocking. It's woefully underpowered if you don't utilize the Planeswalker ability, right? Because Crew 3 is a very heavy cost.
Right. I mean, the thing is, right, is if you play this card with a Gideon.
It's quite good. I mean,
Gideon is super good with this card.
You attack for 9 and you're able to block with it.
Right. Flying Vigilance. It looks like the Weatherlight for those of you who are into the lore stuff. Costs 2 mana. It's weird because the display field on our overlay doesn't necessarily show it the best. But that card seems good. There's also a new mechanic that's come out in this set called Improvise, which is like Convoke for artifacts, which basically says that artifacts can help you cast this spell. Each artifact you tap after you pay mana costs, after you've activated mana abilities, adds like one generic to the spell. So like you have the one that came out is like Black X, right? And it's target creature gets -X/-X. You gain X life, and it's a sorcery. I'm not sure how playable it necessarily is, but the fact that Improvise is in this set, I think, could lead to some cool stuff. It's sort of like Wizards like fixing the mistakes of previous artifact blocks, where it's like Affinity, where it's like free Convoke for artifacts, which is probably not
right. I see it making a much bigger splash in Draft, because you have the Fabricate mechanic.
Yeah, you have Prophetic Prisms.
Right, and it's just like the power level of these cards has to be pretty high to begin justifying playing cards like
playing random artifacts. Yeah,
Prophetic Prism. The one I'm most excited about is the new, the smaller Languish.
Henny's Expertise.
Right. It's 4 mana, -3/-3 to the field, and you can cast a card from your hand with CMC 3 or less. So this has a lot of implications. Not only is it quite powerful in Standard. Imagine casting this, clearing the board, and also casting a Liliana.
Right. I mean, this into Lily, I think, is what most people thought of immediately.
But even in don't be deceived by the display here. It does cost double black. It's not a 3.
If this were a 3, it'd be insane. There you go.
But this also gives you a way of just hard casting cards in Modern. You can now hard cast a Living End. You can hard cast an Ancestral. And maybe this into Ancestral is not the worst play in the world.
I think it really depends, right? Like -3/-3 on turn 4 is it seems like it could be a little late. I think I'm a little bit worried about like what matchup exactly. Okay, I think this card is nuts against Zoo. I don't know if it's good anywhere else, and I don't know if Zoo's a big enough portion of the meta to justify it.
No, absolutely. And if this is just a one-off effect, like if it's only on this card, hey, not much changes. But if this is a theme, and this is like this mechanic is printed on other cards.
If this mechanic exists on something with CMC 3 or less, like it's going to be in Modern, I think.
Oh right, but I mean that would be very, very powerful, right?
Right.
Like,
I mean, I don't think Wizards will do it because they're not dumb about free spells, hopefully. But
yeah, just having an ability, a way to cast suspend spells, is really interesting because you add in a lot of design space and just like deck construction space into the format. Now whether or not it's actually good. That's to be seen. But it is interesting that now this is like an option.
Yeah, I mean, I think that because of Wizards' previous experiences with, like, free spells and cheating on mana a little bit, probably going to err more towards the side of don't make these too powerful for Modern. Because I could definitely, like, this card could just be broken.
Right. There are some obvious things that I was like, hey, this could be good. I don't see anything completely like busted right now, but then again, like a lot of random things kind of come out of the woodwork when they have a critical mass.
Yeah. So and I mean, you've got to wonder, right? Like the deck that probably wants this the most is Grixis Control. More of a tap out Grixis probably because you otherwise like just play Cryptic Command.
Right. It's just again like the -3/-3 like Languish isn't even good enough.
Right, and like again, if you're looking at a board of like Nacatl, Curd Ape, this card's insane. If you're not looking at that board, I think you have a much harder time justifying it. Plus, like turn four,
like you can do a lot of things on turn 4, and this is just kind of anemic. Even if you back this up with an Ancestral, like maybe you're spending 2 cards to draw 3, and I don't know how
much value you're going to get off the first effect.
Right, if the first effect doesn't do anything, it's a terrible, right? But if the first effect is good, then
then it's pretty good, right?
Right.
Like if you kill a creature with this, right? If you kill a creature and play a creature, then like, I mean, you're not.
If you kill a creature with this and cast Serum Visions, I'm happy. I'm just like satisfied with that.
Anything beyond that is nutty.
Right.
I mean, if you played a Goyf off of this after killing a creature,
yeah, it's still fine.
Pretty good.
I guess with Anger of the Gods, you can like minus
6 the board.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
So this we got round 4 pairings here, and looks like Greg Pino was on a very saucy deck.
Okay.
That I saw outside.
Want to go get him?
We'll see if we can get him on.
All right. We're gonna throw it down to the play overlay real quick. Greg Pino, player of sometimes wacky and wild brews. The only person to ever play Battle of Wits on camera here. All right, yeah, so just got to get these overlays back to the way they were. All right, and then we should be underway momentarily here with the 4th and final round of Wednesday Night Modern here at MTGCardmarket. And we'll go back to... Yeah, so interesting that there were spoilers from... Interesting that there's spoilers from Aether Revolt that already dropped. Most people would have not expected them to drop this early given that the set release isn't for a little while, but... I think it was some people, Comrade Squawks. I appreciate this. The reason that this happens is because if you leave these fields blank, the next time like you type in them, it'll show up really wacky and not formatted right. And I would know how that works, except I'm not super competent on obs. But yeah, left deck versus right deck, the eternal battle on the card market stream.
All right, so Greg Pino is on a homebrew today. That is has a lot of cards that I'm very excited about.
Tell me, Dan.
So he was playing against an Elves player today, and had Liliana, the Last Hope, and Jace Vryn's Prodigy.
Is he playing a Grixis deck?
He is playing a Grixis deck with Goro's Vengeance.
Oh shoot! I think I heard him talk about this.
Goro's Vengeance, but not to get like Gristlebrand's and stuff. No, Goro's Vengeance to get Kiki-Jikis and Jace Vrin's Prodigy.
Oh.
There's some spicy things here. I'm quite excited to see how well this does.
Well, that's a deck, all right.
Yeah. And this is the 3-0 table, so both of these players.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly doing something right. Grixis, Goryo's value?
Yeah. You know what Liliana, the Last Hope, is really good against?
Huh.
Elvish Mystic.
Yep, plus to kill a creature is pretty strong. Generally. Make a zillion zombies is pretty good if you get there.
Yeah.
Okay. I dig it.
I'm always surprised by how many games I've lost with the Liliana emblem, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, is it, like, what do you lose to typically then?
I mean, if you ult Liliana and then they, like, you know, marvel into Ulamog and it's like, here, mill 20, and then mill 20 you again. Like,
I mean, I don't think green black ever beats a resolved Ulamog, right?
yeah, you have some outs.
Triple grasp.
I mean, to the slaughter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah, so we saw Elon before. He's on Merfolk, but Greg's deck too spicy not to put on camera.
Yeah, absolutely.
And both players 3-0. Yeah, so these players rolling. So he's gonna go first. I'm super excited.
We've got at least a 6. Greg's in good shape here. And
Yeah.
Let's say a win with 1 dice.
Yeah, win with 1 dice sort of thing. Yeah. Oh, actually, Comrade Squawks. I do remember that Hugin list. The like Hugin playing Obsidian, Ghost Council, and Goryo's Vengeance. I can't believe no one's ever looked up Goryo's Vengeance on this computer. That's fine. There it is. Bring back a legendary creature into play. Gains haste. Remove it from the game at the end of turn. Pretty good card. Pretty good in the Grishel brand deck. Not very popular these days. But you know, sometimes he's play. I think, you know, people were like, "Oh, this deck's super good," and then people were like, "If I'm going to play something degenerate, I'll just play Dredge."
Yeah.
Right. I honestly think that Dredge is like you were talking about earlier, right? Like, no one plays Affinity as much. Dredge is pretty good. No one plays Goryo's as much. Dredge still pretty good.
Yeah, one of the things with the rise of Dredge also is a lot of decks get hit by side hate. you know, you get hit by some decks get hit hard by Rest in Peace. The Abzan list with 4x Grim Flares, as well as
Lingering Souls,
and Tarmogoyf. Like, that's 12 cards that are effectively useless.
Against Rest in
or
Peace,
get significantly worse against Rest in Peace.
They're a lot worse. I mean, Grimfoil you can rearrange atop your library, but like,
but
it's never going to be a
2/2.
4/4. It's
a
bear.
2/2, which is not great.
It's not even a bear. It's green black, so it's harder to cast.
Yeah.
Greg looking like he's satisfied with his hand. I saw Scalding Tarn, a couple of Jace Vryn's Prodigies, Serum Visions. Probably at least one more land in there, but
Jace Vryn's Prodigy is a card that has really fallen out of favor as the format has become increasingly less fair.
I mean, this card's super slow.
It is super slow, but there certainly was a period of time where this was like heralded as like the next big thing.
I mean, yeah, and I tried this too. I played this. I tried to make this card work a lot in Modern. Ultimately, the problem is that your stylistically your deck just changes because it's only sorcery speed. So like with Jace, you want to be flashing back Inquisition of Kozilek, but with Snapcaster you don't. But you're definitely playing Snapcaster and Jace because there's no way that just Jace is good enough.
Right, but I mean, so Snapcastering and Serum Visions usually feels pretty bad to have to do.
Jace
but
Serum Visions
is
great.
It's just fine. Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is fine. Yeah. So gonna fetch Shock here from Greg. Gonna put him to 17.
Yeah, one of the issues with Jace is also...
you think he drew a third Jace. He's going to go top bottom on the lands. But the thing is, he can like pitch the Jace to the Jace.
Right.
Jace. Yeah. No, Jace Vryn's Prodigy is kind of cool. Like, I mean, it is a very cool card. Obviously the best of the Flipwalkers in terms of Modern playability. Fringe at best, but the rest of them don't really do it either.
Yeah.
Is that a Graven Cairns?
That is a Graven Cairns.
From Future Sight.
Yeah.
And there is a Jace.
Yeah, it's just like, the flip planeswalkers. Chandra, never really so much hype. Kithian, has a very specific deck for it.
Yeah.
Nissa, just unplayable because you're never gonna hit 7 lands, and
It's too slow with that. Yeah, and having a Nissa alive on
and,
7 is
and
impossible,
yeah, the basic forest requirement is also pretty rough. Liliana, there just hasn't been a combo deck that like could use her, and also
Right.
you just have Liliana the Veil if you want.
Liliana's better, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Elon going to Spreading Seas, the Graven Cairns there, and Jace is going to activate. Going to put a card in the graveyard. Now, this flips when there are 5.
Currently 2.
Yep. Remand in Greg's hand, pretty good if there's no Cavern from Elon.
Yeah, Remand's not bad.
Elon's start pretty slow. Discards his 3rd card and says go.
Yeah, I mean,
If he gets to cast the Remand, he gets misses a 2nd land drop. But if he gets to cast the Remand, he'll be able to flip the Jace.
And we see Kiki-cord in Greg's hand as well.
Right.
So Ian's like you said, Ian's start is extremely slow. No turn 1 Aether Vial or Curse Catcher.
Yeah.
Turn 2 only a Spreading Seas. Like, just not much going on.
Yeah. And Greg using the top side of the table as the spot for his Graven Cairns and for his Jace. Remand here, going to come down, target the Lord of Atlantis. This is great when you're playing against fish and you have a Remand and you actually like get to stop a spell from like hitting the table. Feels good. Right.
And
There's a Curse Catcher.
Right, the Curse Catcher.
Curse Catcher of Shame.
Yeah.
This is like play like your 3rd extra land after Mana Leak. Shame. Curse Catcher. Shame.
If you start with the Curse Catcher, I would like after seeing Greg miss his 3rd land drop, I would snap that off.
Absolutely. So Jace Friends Prodigy gonna go active again. Greg just digging for lands, I think. Finds another Serum Visions. He has a Bloodstained Mire in hand.
He has a Bloodstained, so everything's on the up and up.
Yeah, he's got a discard. He'll discard the Kiki-cord. Probably better in the graveyard if he's planning on reanimating it.
Also, I mean, we're just so far away from casting it that...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That flips into Jace. Telepath Unbound. Jace. Telepath. There we go. So the -3 allows you to... No, that doesn't kill it. It just minuses the power. Yeah, so the -3 lets you flash stuff back. The plus lets you shrink opponent's creatures. In this case, it's pretty good against a Curse Catcher. It's going to keep it locked down. Greg going to go to 16 off a fetch. Greg does have a Kolaghan's Command in hand, I saw.
He does. Obviously here you want to try to kill an Aether Vial with it, but I mean, like with the Curse Catcher, like it's going to be difficult to cast that
without
it getting just countered.
Right, and I mean that's one of the reasons that Curse Catcher is like a $10 uncommon or something.
Oh, also, only one printing of it.
I mean, yeah, that too. Yeah. But like, it's obviously a very strong role play. Like, there really isn't a replacement for it, right? Like, you don't build budget Merfolk and leave out Curse Catcher.
Right. The problem with it.
He has a collective.
Okay, this makes much more sense.
Is he gonna escalate?
It does not look like he's gonna escalate. He's just going to
kill your dude.
Yep.
That's fine. Just 1-for-1 trade. And Serum Visions again. Yeah. So Greg really seeming like he's got something going on, right? Like he's got some engine ticking. Is that a Liliana there? Oh, it might be. Zoom in, enhance. I thought it was a Liliana. He's gonna bottom both anyways.
And then pass the Ian. And look at this. We're going to turn 4 here.
Elon does not have a board.
Yeah, just no pressure whatsoever. And this is exactly what you want to see on Greg's side. Like, you almost certainly have the better late game. Island Walk is just always going to be on, whether or not you spread his seas. Island Walk is going to be on.
Yeah, generic-ish. Jace Telepath Unbound, if it killed creatures on a plus, would be nuts.
Yeah. The -2, used to be really relevant. Like, made Sylvan Advocates very sad.
Yeah, I feel. Oops, Spreading Seizure Swamp.
Okay.
Right? I mean, the thing is, right, is like, I have no idea how Greg wins the game, so obviously Elon doesn't have a board, but Greg, he just has a bunch of cards, right? I think he's got a Kolaghan's Command, so that's pretty good.
And, he's been cut off,
he's now playing Blue Moon, essentially.
But Elon choosing not to
play the Lord?
Interesting.
I am question. Okay, well, Greg probably going to Snapcast or Serum Visions here. That's the thing with Merfolk, right? Is if you get to 6 lands, there's no way they can Spreading Seas all of them.
And I mean, Jace's ult is
Jace -3 in here.
Yeah.
Getting Serum Visions. That's just card advantage.
All right, so we're off the alt Jace plan, but
Jace's ult is really good.
Greg's looking at 2 fetch lands on top. If he keeps them on top, he will be able to finally get a black source.
Hopefully. Good lord. And he's got another Jace here.
Mm-hmm.
This one, the Prodigy again.
Yeah,
But,
so this
pretty
will
good.
play for people who did not play in standard with this interaction. The second Jace totally kosher until it flips.
Yeah. Well, you know what's awesome about this is if Elan doesn't attack the living Jace, Greg will just sack it for value, get some, flashback something, and then flip the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Greg's next turn can just
Ooh, double Lord though.
yeah. Greg next turn can get back the collective brutality, and then flip Jace and do something else with it.
Getting back to brutality is not as good now that there's 2 Lords.
Yes. Although if Greg Greg has a bolt in hand,
He has a Kolaghan's Command, but that's not it.
the Kolaghan's command not good.
He's got a pretty clunky hand, it looks like. He's got an IOK as well. But again, no Black Source here. Gotta wonder how many basic swamps he has, or if he'll have to hurt himself. But yeah, he's gonna go flashback Serum Visions again.
Alright.
Draw another card.
And
The thing is, he's drawing tons of cards and stuff, but I have no idea what's actually supposed to happen.
so Greg now has both Pluto Deltas that he Skred to the top last
Yeah.
turn with Serum.
The problem is that Kolaghan's Command is no longer on as a removal spell. So I think if you're Greg, it depends on depending on what you want to do. You can either flip the Jace now or flip it in combat next turn, and get a free block.
No, because Island Walk, there will be no free blocks.
Sorry, you're right.
One of the painful things is if we look at Greg's hand, it's so much value. There are like multiple Snapcasters, Call Guns, commands, and stuff like that.
But it's not like what is it? What is the ultimate end?
Right, exactly. Like Elan is threatening an attack for 10 next turn,
That's a lot.
which is quite a bit.
And Greg is at 13 because he's had to fetch shock out of the Spreading Seas. Activate Jace. Draw a card.
There's a Goryo's
Drew
Vengeance.
Goryo's Vengeance. That targets Kiki exactly?
Currently, yes.
Okay.
Pitches
Discard
a snap.
Snapcaster. I think that he should be probably Thought Scouring here. Right? That Jace is going to flip. And minus or plus? If you plus the attack goes down to 8 power.
But then you just lose the Jace, right?
I agree. It's not. But that they do spend a turn attacking.
Yes, that is true.
Yep, he's gonna plus on the Lord of Atlantis. Nope, it still doesn't kill the Lord
Still
of
does
Atlantis.
not. Yep. Would be quite good if it just destroy target creature.
Man, that would be a good plus. But you have to be not even Nicol Bolas does that.
Oh, it's
Non-creature permanent.
yes. What the minus effect on Nicobolus does just
The minus event is control magic.
yeah.
Inquisition of Kozilek here. Gonna look at a Tidebinder Mage and a Lord of Atlantis and a Curse Catcher. Obviously,
Snap take the Lord. Yeah.
not close, as you like to say, Dan.
The Tidebinder Mage will do nothing in this matchup, and the Curse Catcher, well, sure.
Yeah. So now Greg has a has a Thought Scour in hand. He can put more stuff in his yard. Not at risk from the Curse Catcher, but he's gonna get bopped. He is just gonna get hit.
He's going to get hit very hard.
Silver Gill Adept, very nice. Reveal Tidebinder
Revealing
Mage.
Tidebinder. Okay.
Pretty good draw step for Elan there.
I would have preferred him leading out on that.
Lead on Silvergill, see what you draw.
Yes.
This way though, so I don't know. I've sort of
Phantasmal Image. Okay.
Oh.
This is going to be a attack for 8.
8 with just the Lords.
Yep.
I really hope Greg has a way to win the game next turn.
Yeah. We're drawing thin, especially through a Curse Catcher.
Phantasmal Image doesn't see that the Lord is -2/-0, does it?
No, it does not.
Okay, you're the judge. I trust you.
Yeah, it targets the creature.
And here come the beats. This is just a massive attack, and next turn it's mega dead.
We'll see if Elan decides to kill the Jace. I would just go face.
I would 100% go face. You're 2 turns away.
Go face, put you at 5?
Dang him. I mean...
Oh, no, excuse me. This is attack for 6, right? Let's not forget the Jace plus.
Yeah, you're right.
So this is an attack for 6. Puts Greg to 7. With lethal many times over. Next turn.
Thought Scour.
All right.
Target myself.
Double bolt.
Wow, those aren't even good anymore, though.
I mean, the double bolt's not terrible, though, right?
You target the Phantasmal Image, then you target a Lord.
So imagine if Greg had drawn a bolt, right?
Oh, I mean, you're not... Look, I'm saying the bolts on this board state are not going to be enough. I don't know if anything's enough other than Damnation.
Well...
and this attack does hit him for 6. He's going to go to 7.
Yeah. And it looks like, short of Damnation, I
feel like he's mega dead, though.
Well, I mean, he does have land, right? I was going to... Damnation's not even good through the Curse Catcher, but land Damnation would be good. But if he drew the double bolt, like, imagine if he had gotten a bolt from the Thought Scour and then drew another bolt for turn. He could bolt a Phantasmal Image,
then kill a Lord,
and then flash back and kill the third Lord.
He doesn't have triple red.
He has a fetch in hand, though.
You make a good point, and then you plus the Jace on like the Silvergill, and you're fine.
Or not even flash back the bolt, flash back the Collective Brutality.
Mm-hmm. Pitch some stuff, gain some life.
Pitch some stuff, kill some life. Yeah, and then also kill a Lord.
Agreed.
But I think with the context of Greg's hand, he may be dead.
So he has Snap Bolt. He can't kill all the Lords and he can't make enough blockers, but he has Snap Bolt, Jace Brutality.
Let's not forget, no blocks.
You're right. Yep. No blocks ever.
There's Island Walk 3 times over.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think we may be going through the motions here. I'm not exactly sure what Greg can do about this scenario.
I'm not as well.
But, this is just showcasing really the power of Merfolk.
Yeah, I mean, just get a lot of creatures on board and beam people with them.
Yeah, it just, not once, like we've seen Alon, this is the second time he's on, and Greg does have a deck full of removal, just couldn't draw into it soon enough.
Minus the Jace, Thought Scour myself. I think he has to be going for some crazy Goryo's play here.
Yeah, so
Brutality, Black Cleave, nothing, draw Goryo's. Not good enough. I assume there has to be like a Gristlebrand or like...
Maybe it depends.
Emrakul.
Right. Looks like we are done here, though.
Gonna scoop. Greg Pino gonna go down 1 game with Grixis Goryo's value against Merfolk.
If there's anything to take away from that, though, Greg did not show the Goryo's Vengeance.
Ooh. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's a combo. Okay.
There's a Deceiver Exarch.
It's okay. There it is. That's it. Yeah. It's you Goryo's back. It's you play an Exarch and you Goryo's back at Kiki-cord.
Yeah.
Dude. It's like Twin all over again. Only this time it's 2 men and you just have a Kiki-cord in your graveyard. I guess it like loses to Grafdigger's Cage and Rest in Peace and like Scavenging Ooze. But like, it's basically the same thing, right?
Yeah, but again, like Greg did not show Alon
he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Vengeance.
He doesn't know to be afraid.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He does not know. Yeah. Oh man, we're talking about Legacy in the chat here. We're talking about High Tide. Guys, if your name isn't Phalian Longmore, High Tide is going to be very challenging for you.
It's just
the thing is like
it's just not even good.
Actually, interestingly enough, if you like right now, if you go to the Magic TCG subreddit and you find the post that's Phalian Longmore wins with High Tide, but every time they say High Tide, it gets faster. Phalian is in the thread, and there's like a decent discussion of High Tide and just like why it isn't. It's just too slow right now.
It's too slow.
It doesn't go off.
The combo is absurdly,
it fizzles.
It fizzles. You require so many resources, and you fall to the same hate that other combo decks does, but your combo is just much less powerful.
Yeah, but High Tide. Time Spiral.
And let's not also forget
Islands.
It's absurdly expensive. Candelabras are absurdly expensive and see no play in anything other than this fringe deck.
Candelabras are really expensive. I looked it up actually because I didn't know.
It's like $500 or $600, right?
It's like $500 a candelabra. The thing is that the crazy part about High Tide is you can get the deck for $2,000 and 1,500 of that is tied up in the candelabras.
Mm-hmm.
Like without candelabras, the deck is super cheap. The deck just like doesn't really function without candelabras very well.
It does not. It not function at all.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah, it's just like it's unplayable without candelabras. Like that's your engine.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. It's just like, it's crazy how they printed this one card once in Antiquities, and it's in a legacy deck that like isn't super played or like isn't super competitively viable right now. Still $500 though.
Candelabra falls in the category of cards that are super expensive because they're rare, not because they're good.
That's true.
Right.
It does.
Unfortunately,
does it actually function, TX Rager? I'm very interested to hear about how this works.
I mean,
you can play Turnabout. It's not as good though. Definitely not as good.
You can technically go off without it. It's just like it's much less. It's much more difficult.
The High Tide deck is so sweet though, right? Like it's got such a like appeal for people who want to like do blue things.
Just play Storm,
dude.
Just tendrils people for 20.
But Dan, brain freeze.
Don't like try to make 50 mana as like blue sun you for 50.
You can only blue sun for 57 if you do that. If you make 50 mana. Okay, I'm being unnecessary. Look, brain freeze, dude. They mill 3 and it has Storm. You only need to get to 20 Storm.
You know what Brain Freeze loses to? Emrakul.
Who plays Emrakul these days? Oh wait, show and tell.
Yeah.
Reanimator?
Like
that's pretty bad.
And it's not like you can miss. If you mill their entire deck, it was like, oh, here's the Emrakul.
Shuffle.
Or you play against elves, it was like, oh, here's the Progenitus.
I mean, Progenitus just shuffles itself though.
Yeah, but you still don't deck them.
I mean, then they draw a card.
And kill you.
And then they draw a card. They're not necessarily dead. Their whole deck's in their graveyard and they have 2 turns to kill you.
What, elves with 2 turns to kill you? Absurd.
With nothing that can come out of their deck.
I mean, they could easily have like 10 power on board.
Man, Dan, you're no fun.
It's not unreasonable.
Yes. Okay, we get it.
But to go back to less absurd things.
Yeah.
Goryo's Vengeance Kiki-cord.
Dude, how have you ever been afraid?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Greg also has, some Gristlebrands.
That's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, there's got to be some good reanimation targets in there.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if you get to 8 land, you just play Gristlebrand, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Dude, you could just win with a natural combo. It's like Kiki
yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of the appeal is, you can Goryo's Vengeance back a Jace and then flip it, and then you don't lose it.
Also, TX Rager's 100% right. Brain Freeze, not good. You should Blue Suns them. You make the.
Absolutely. You should be Blue Sunning, not Brain Freezing.
All right. Greg gonna start on Land Serum Visions though. Draw. I think he saw Steam Vents. Gonna see two cards. Has a Kiki-cord in hand again. Not ideal.
Mm-hmm. Serum Visions, not the Brainstorm.
Comrade Squawks Gorios gives Kiki haste. I mean, I don't even know how to respond to that. I can't tell if I'm being trolled subtly or not, Dan.
Yeah. Kiki now has double haste.
Double haste. Dude, what if that gave it split second? Whoa, not responding to Kiki-cord activations? Pretty good.
Yeah, did you just respond to the Restoration Flicker?
Or the Deceiver on tap,
yeah.
2 mana Jace Vryn's Prodigy, so here we go again. Gonna take a little bit longer to flip because there's no fetch lands. Elon gonna go... Oh, forgets the draw step, but Greg's gonna give it to him. Goes land, and... Oh.
Here's the spreading
Dude,
Jace.
okay, I swear I never play Merfolk players who have less than like 2 or 3 spreading Cs every game.
It's just...
Every single game. Yes, I'm salty about this, but it's true. It's 100% true.
So, Greg actually had the option of flipping a Jace. I believe he has a Thought Scour in hand.
Oh, that'd be pretty good. He discards a Kiki-cord again.
Mm-hmm. But, alright.
Alright, gonna play a Spire Bluff Canal. Really good card from Yield Kaladesh.
Yep. We'll see if Ian follows suit with his last game and
has another
spreading seasons again.
This is a Minimo.
Mm-hmm.
Doo-doo. do 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 do. Ah.
What was the
Anticipation mounting. I don't. Oh.
There is another spreading safe.
Please have mercy.
Now, Greg is looking at a bolt in hand is like, do I want to fire off the bolt for no value?
Okay, the way that Greg put the land to the side, he's a little bit unhappy about this.
And Alon made the same Curse Catcher after spell play, which I really prefer the Curse Catcher first because then you can catch a remand.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna load again. Finds an anger. Hideously uncastable right now. All right, discards the Inquisition.
God.
We've got a Scalding Tarn now.
Dude, okay. Third Spreading Seas for president.
Okay.
Let's go.
So Greg can flip at any point. I think one of the things that is Greg doesn't want to flip it. He really wants to loot away.
Just keep looting and just draw into not terrible cards. He wants. I mean, dude, if he draws Exarch, he has a Vengeance.
All right. So this is a.
He has the win if he draws an Exarch. How many times have I said that before? A lot. Okay, this is a swing for 2.
Yep.
The Twin Days. If I have Exarch, I have the win. Gonna fetch.
Fetch and then Thoughtscour, maybe. Oh, what?
I think it's maybe fetch bolt. You bolt the Redri.
Yeah.
All right, gonna go to 17 to do so. All right, I believe in Alon's third Spreading Seas.
I mean, it's not happening this turn.
Dan, have faith.
What? Alon plays a 4th land, then sees claim.
I mean,
Technically possible.
True, Dan. Good point. So Greg gonna go to 16 off this Curse Catcher hit, but again, Alon with a pretty slow start. And so, actually, Greg needs land Exarch, and then the game's over. Mm-hmm. What did he draw? He drew a land. That's half the plan.
He has Goro's Vengeance in hand. He doesn't.
He needs to draw the Exarch though.
Yes.
Gonna discard.
There's collective brutality he's thinking about. There's also anger that
I like discarding anger here, even though it's so good against fish sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna discard the land. Okay.
Yeah.
Flip the Jace. I mean, this puts the Curse Catcher not in attacking mode forever.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like the clock is so slow right now.
That can change quickly.
Yeah.
Enough Lords, but also Greg does have the ability to flashback a bolt, and he has a bolt in hand, so Elon's going to have to battle through a little bit more removal this time.
Yeah, Elon's best play this turn would probably be Silvergill into another Silvergill.
Yeah, I just need to reload a little bit. This is going to be a Master of the Pearl Trident.
Yep. Adept now up to a 0/1.
Curse Catcher.
Curse Catcher, excuse me.
Yes, Curse Catcher's 0/1. Snapcaster Mage, target bolt your dude.
Alright.
So now Greg has
finally getting a little bit of value out of the Snapcasters.
Draws a land.
Alright.
Again, it should not be overstated for the chat. Or it should not be understated. If Greg draws a Deceiver Exarch, he wins the game by Goryo's Vengeancing back a Kiki-cord and making a billion Exarchs like the twin combo. Whoop, and there goes the Scalding Tarn.
Yeah, the funny thing too is he can combo off 4 lands.
Oh.
Right?
Right. I completely forgot. Yeah.
Oh, it's been so long since you played twin. Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Normally,
also that's not with twin, it's you can combo off of 6.
Off of 6. This is a combo off of 4.
And no way, but it's not relevant in twin because you're not doing it at sorcery speed. You only untap your own lands to cast counter magic.
Yes. But you never know. You might have 6 lands, and you have the twin in hand, and you finally draw the Exarch.
Sure. Tidebinder Mage here. Greg says fine.
It does nothing.
Yeah, it does not tap anything. It's just a 2/2. Also, if that were Harbinger of the Tides, you definitely would not want to be bouncing that Snapcaster for more value.
Yeah.
Untap for Greg, and a draw. Oh wait, Elon's at 18 because he got attacked.
So another Snapcaster drawn here.
I mean, I feel like Greg is just on the I'm Grixis control now.
Yeah.
Look at me.
So-
I'm the control now.
So Greg chose not to fetch to, presumably, to protect his second red source with the anger in hand.
Yeah, I like that play.
All right. Let's not forget that Greg almost has a clear path to ulting this Jace. And once we ult this Jace, this is going to be like it's not a insanely fast clock, but mill 5 for every spell cast, with Snapcasters in hand. All of a sudden, you play a Snapcaster, snap back a bolt.
Mill 10.
That mill 10. That's what at this point, quarter of your deck.
Oh yeah. No, I mean you're essentially Snapcaster has a glimpse the unthinkable rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Elan's hand just we haven't gotten a good look at it, but it has at least a Lord.
Relatively anemic.
Yeah.
Gonna go 3 mana for this Reader. I feel like this is just gonna get bolted.
Yeah, it's just like he card casts this Reader and just does nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's like the problem with Fish sometimes is he just slows down.
So Greg's play this turn is just plus Jace to 9 and just anger this board.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then
fetch.
And
15.
then nothing Elan's deck has haste. This Jace is going to ult if Greg wants it to.
Right. I mean, and the thing is even if Elan plays like one creature, and Greg wants to plus to 10. There's nothing stopping that, and he has Snap Bolt for any attackers. Like, he's very much in a commanding position in the game, and wham bam, welcome to the Space Jam. Here I like sacking the Curse Catcher in response just to make him pay and slow, make him pay 4 for it, but Elan not gonna do that here. Another Anger in hand, more Snapcasters. Like, this is insane. So it looks like Jace is gonna go minus for Serum Visions. So here's the other thing, right? Is like, if Greg digs into the combo, and that's what I think he's trying to do. He's not he has the Exarch on top. Okay, put the Exarch on top. Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted.
And perhaps this is just a stylistic difference. I would have liked just going to 9 and just ulting, just winning that way.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong. I think on some level though you got to swag out.
Well, because you have Snapcaster for Serum Visions. That's mill 10.
Yeah.
You're almost guaranteed to hit another spell in top 3.
Oh. He lost his black source. The third spreading.
Oh god! This means he no longer has it.
You're correct, and that he no longer has it. Okay, he should have ulted. You're right.
So, and the worst part is he knows what's on top, so he's not going to get there.
No.
This is equal parts hilarious. It's heartbreaking, really.
I'm really sad.
And this is a valid consideration too. I don't know how many more black sources there are in this deck.
How many have been spreading seized?
At least 2? No, all 3? No, one was a Spire Bluff. So
one
2?
was a Spire Bluff. One was a.
So what with Graven Cairn?
No, that was the first game.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's been spreading seas. I think it might be. I don't know if he's gotten Basic Swamp yet. Jace gonna hit the battlefield.
Yeah. We're. Greg just has so much inevitability here that I'd be shocked if he lost this game.
I agree. It is sort of a big how do you say tempo hit by losing the Jace ult.
Right. Look at Elan's hand.
There's Lords and stuff.
He's just been stuck on 3 lands.
Right,
so he can.
Greg has Anger and doesn't have a second Anger. Doesn't have a second red.
Yep, he's cut off of everything right now.
And he has a Jace that gets to get him another draw step, but oh my god.
Flash
in Exarch.
Imagine if we
Flash in Exarch.
Imagine if we just ulted Jace last turn.
Oh, he drew a Goryo's Vengeance. You're right, Dan. You're 100% right. Dude, this looks like a Blue Moon deck, but it's not Blue Moon by choice. Oh, please.
So
he has so much Jace value though. He's just gonna Snapcaster everything. I guess the other thing is here.
Imagine if Elan draws the 4th Spreading Seas and Spreading Seas the mountain.
I think Greg would be pretty tilted. As it is, I think he's not super happy.
Greg has just found another Angler of Gods. Is going to sack the Jace just to get another loot.
I'm so sad. The Tidebinder is going to be a minus 2/2.
So Alon's gonna try the Tidebinder. Like, well, okay, he doesn't have the mana for it,
Yeah.
and
Harbinger. I mean.
the Harbinger. Sorry, excuse me.
Harbinger, the Jason response to the trigger. That's pretty good, but it's not going to be it's not going to work because
Okay.
you can't play it. But now Jace is going to plus again. I mean, this just like he just needs a black source, Dan.
Yeah.
And he wins on the spot too, right? Like it's not even he doesn't even have to wait.
Well, I mean, you lose to Spell Pierce.
No, you don't. You do Goryo's Vengeance first. You lose to Dismember.
No, you Spell Pierce the Goryo's Vengeance. You
Oh,
can't
yeah,
play
you're
the Zerax and the.
That's fair, but like Dan, come on. Okay, then you go for it end of turn, then you untap Goryo's Vengeance, and you're fine. All right, so this is a Lord of Atlantis, and that's a Phantasmal image. And Greg's like, all right.
All right. I mean, this is still at 0/4 Tidebinder Mage.
This is true.
If we find another red source, these two Anger of the Gods, pretty good.
If we find a black source, the Goryo's Vengeance into Splinter Twin, pretty good.
All right.
Bizolt.
So one thing I would have liked to see is Greg bolt in response to the Phantasmal image.
Make him copy the Tidebinder.
Make him copy the Tidebinder.
I think Elon might have gestured to the Tidebinder.
All right. Deceiver Exarch.
Tap your... kill your dude.
Yeah. Okay. No, this is actually fine.
Yeah, that's a good removal spell right there, folks. Oh, did he draw Watergrave? Oh, yes, please. All right. There's no ley line of anticipation, and Elon is tapped out, so there's no spreading seas with Flash. Okay, the game's over.
The game is over.
All right, we did it.
On to game 3.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Oh, yeah, Elon is tapped out, so Vapor Snag is not an out here.
He shows him the Goryos. He gets the Kiki-cord. He's like, do this.
Do this again. Do this one more time.
Never stop popping. Man, seeing Deceiver Exarch and Keek, and seeing a twin-esque combo, it's good for my soul.
It's shocking how good these
Spreading
spreading
seas.
seas were in this game.
Oh man, yeah, no. So he got a Black Cleave,
A Blood Crypt?
a Blood Crypt, and a Spire Blow.
Okay. Alright, so we weren't in the run out Black Sources territory here.
Yeah. I think we need to change the name of this deck. I think Emperor Calgar is right. I think this is Goryo's twin. Yes.
Grixis Warriors.
Grixis Goryo's twin. This is fine.
With no twin.
Or sorry, well, okay. What do you want me to call it? Grixis Goryo's Deceiver XR Kiki combo?
Yes.
Okay. Grixis Goryo's Kiki combo. Thanks, Dan. This is like when they called the red-white prison deck Sun and Moon. Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's a cool name. I won't doubt you, but yeah.
Not the most descriptive.
It does close out the games in a reasonable amount of time if you have this 3-part combo of Felices. Like, I don't disagree that, like,
so one thing
comboing with Kiki's great, but
so one thing I'm a little bit interested in is like we didn't see cards that would enable this combo, like Faithless Looting.
Right, that's so the thing is, right, is he has Collective Brutality, he has Jace,
And just that.
and Thought Scour.
You're right. So there are some
There
enablers.
is a package. I don't disagree with you that Faithless Looting is probably one of the first cards that I would think about. The problem is, like, if you're trying to also be able to play a more control-y Grixis role, like we see with the remands and stuff, is like you give up card advantage when you Faithless Looting, and like that's not necessarily something you want to be doing in a deck where like you also seem sort of like a Grixis control deck.
No, I completely agree. And despite what that last game ended up being, Greg could probably also just win a fair game. There might be Tassigers in here.
I feel like Tasker's a great choice for this deck.
There's quite a few options.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's
We'll see. But yeah, Elon had the slowest start I have ever seen on a Merfolk deck.
it was not fast. We'll put
Like
it that way.
we got to like turn 10 and there was like at most at any one time like 4 power
yeah.
on board.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't like Greg was playing like multiple removal spells or anything. It was just like Elon was playing one thing in a turn, maybe.
Right. No,
and
absolutely.
half of the turns were spreading seas.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yeah, no, that's I mean, you gotta feel bad for the slow start, but also just like sometimes it happens, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, Greg has played turn 2 Jace both times as well. Which
Turn 2 Jace seems pretty good.
seems pretty good.
Yeah, so Greg looking at 7, looks like he's satisfied. I gotta reset the life totals here.
Mm-hmm. And we'll have to keep an eye on the clock here too.
Yeah, we are, if the game is super slow and grindy, we could run into the turns problem.
Mm-hmm. I mean, 10 minutes is plenty for Merfolk. 10 minutes may not be enough for Greg. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Elon is definitely going to 6, which certainly helps him. Certainly helps Greg's cause. If Elon can just go turn 1 Aether Vial.
Just gotta go a little bit faster.
Well, yeah, we'll see if Elon can keep a better 6 here. Greg reminding Elon to make sure you take that scry. It is free.
It is free and it is very good. So Sprankles, we have no idea.
Yeah.
We can talk to Greg, but I have no clue.
I know Greg did have Liliana's in this. I don't know whether they remain or not, but all right. Elon again with no turn 1 play.
That feels bad, man.
Yeah.
Greg gonna shock himself.
Shock off a Watery Grave. We're gonna probably play. Oh no, this is an
This
Inquisition.
is an okay. Well, we'll get to see what's going on. Island, Silvergill.
Silvergill, 2 lords.
I feel like you take the Silvergill here.
Yeah, depends on the context of Greg's hand. But I would very much lean toward the Silvergill unless you have literally no removal.
I agree, but I think I see a bolt over there, and I really think that Silvergill, letting them refill, letting Merfolk draw gas, like that's one of the reasons that Spreading Seas is also so good.
Mm-hmm.
No, Sprankles, you're fine. We don't have deck lists though for like a Wednesday night event just because it's regular rel instead of competitive. But if you want to hang out in the chat, towards the right after this round ends, we can send Dan out real quick to ask Greg about his list because there are people interested.
Yeah, we can have Greg lay out his deck in front of the camera.
Yeah, that too. Ooh, yeah, that would be really cool. Okay, so Greg is going to fetch shock here. So he's seen Elon's hand, and he has not seen his nemesis. There are no spreading.
There is no Spreading Sea.
Yeah, there is no 2-mana enchantment. Yeah. All right, so it looks like he's gonna go to 15. Mm-hmm. Damage is relevant, and it hurts. Also, Grixis just hurts itself a lot, anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, a collective brutality here would be absurd. Another Inquisition is great, especially if you see nothing. And it looks like you see pretty much nothing. It's a
get out of here! Greg emphatically
getting rid of it.
And a bolt here. This is pretty good for Greg. I mean, Elon's on 2 cards, one of which is a land, one of which is a 2/2. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know, but yeah, Greg definitely not about to lose to Spreading Seas, guys.
I've never seen so many Spreading Seas drawn by a Merfolk player.
In two games, there was 6 Spreading Seas.
Mm-hmm. Now, Greg did draw the Seaver Exarch.
It's a pretty good card, It has a 1/4, it's flash, it lets you tap stuff. I really like that card.
Seems fun.
Greg fetching again here. Says, I'm going to get another black source. Haha! Mm-hmm. Going to 14, but no pressure.
No second red source, no anger.
But also no pressure.
Absolutely. This could be just a Snapcaster's, bolt play.
Mm-hmm.
Or a K command. Ooh, brutal.
Make you discard your last card? I wonder how many times Greg has targeted himself with K command in order to dump a Kiki into the yard. That's a real question that I have.
That's a real play.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's good.
I think that's an Aether Vial.
I mean, Greg said, he has another command.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I guess it's not good if you only get half value off of it, though.
Yeah, I mean, what do you care about the turn 4
Dude,
Aether Vial?
It's not about it's not about just killing an artifact. It's about sending a message.
Oh, is it?
A message that you're not afraid. Right? Like, yeah. No, I don't think it's good. But yeah, Greg gonna go to 13 here. Probably gonna fetch Basic Mountain. Yeah. Yeah, so, okay, so clear something up. Jocasta 100 in the chat. Collected Company is in Modern. Everything that is... Yeah. Everything that's in...
Everything that is in Modern stays in Modern. Nothing rotates out.
Yeah, anything you see in Standard is good in Modern, unless it gets... except for, like, a couple recent ones, like... Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time, but generally anything that you see in Standard you can play in Modern.
And anything in Standard in the last, like, 5, 6,
Ophelia
7
sees
years.
we got you on the link there. Collected Company and Legacy. Interesting. All right. So Curse Catcher going to hit the table for Milan, but yeah, I don't know. Deceiver Exarch, end of turn, going to tap that just because why
Sure.
not? Untap, draw. I mean, if Greg draws a Kiki-Jiki, he has a Kiki, so he's a red source off.
Yeah.
Okay, he's just going to pass.
So, amusingly, if Greg went for the draw step K command, destroy your Aether Vial, discard a card, Elon could have vialed in the Curse Catcher he drew
to counter
and
that.
countered it. Which is so absurd. But I guess, like, Greg could also just, shock.
I agree, but it's still kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good line.
Alright, Greg did draw the 5th land. He's going to get the Kiki-Jiki. We'll see if Elon has, a Dismember or a Vapor Snag. Or Harbinger.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Harbinger will only prevent this nonsense for 1 turn. Dismember, a little more permanent.
Yes, this is true. Greg down to 10, but it doesn't matter because he has a Kiki-Jiki.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Do it again, he says. And Elon, last card. Doesn't look like it. Whoop, turn the Imaginary Exarch sideways. And that's going to do it, folks. Go run and grab Greg.
Yeah, we'll see
his
if we can
deck out.
get Greg to show us his deck.
Yeah. All right, so the Goryo's Kiki combo deck. Going to take it down over Merfolk in 3 games. Lots of spreading seas. Yeah. So, just the normal Merfolk things. When you get spreading seized out of a game, it's really tilting. You're like, oh, I have like 3 Path to Exiles in my hand. Oh, I don't have a white source. Whew. Yeah, no, lots of great Coco decks in Modern. Jocasta 100. If you really like that card, you can do a lot of different things with it. Yeah, like people are saying, there's Slivers, there's Bant Spirits, which has been fine. Like, Slivers is a fun deck. I'm not sure, like, if it's as competitive as, like, Absent Company. But definitely very good. Elves, pretty good. There's a lot of good Coco stuff in Modern that you can do. And if you're looking to get into the format, that's, like, it's definitely a good place to start. Because a lot of, like, the lands, if you buy into Modern in Absent Company, if you pick up a lot of lands for those decks, like, it'll be a good place to sort of start building into other stuff as you eventually want to play it. Which is definitely something that, like, I noticed is, like, oh, I have, I'm in Modern, I have, like, somewhat of a collection, and now I have the lands for it. Now I can build a ton of different things with the lands. So, yeah. Emperor Calgar, I don't know, there are a couple awesome videos of Slivers, like, going ham, in what you call it, in Modern, at, like, SCGs and stuff, is like, oh, just, like, play Slivers beat Jeskai, play Slivers beat... just a lot of stuff. Like, the deck can... Slivers is disgustingly explosive. There are so many lords. You also, like, you don't have the good sliver that gives your sliver Shroud from Legacy, but, like, you have everything else. Yeah, TX Urger, I think it's typically, like, you want to run, like, 28 creatures, usually, like a lot of creatures. You run a bunch of mana dorks, you run... like 22, 23 lands, maybe less than that. And then, like, maybe, like, you run the Cocos and maybe some Cords and maybe a couple Paths, but, like, yeah. Yeah, Coco into Selfless Spirit Titanic is pretty real if you want it. All right, yeah, so Greg is going to show us here. All right, so it does look like we have a Liliana the Last Hope main deck. looks like 2 remands, some number of Thought Scours. Got 4 bolts, 3 Jace, 3 Kiki-Jiki. Wow. That's a lot of Kiki-Jiki, but I guess if like you have a way to discard them, it's fine. Inquisition of Kozilek, Collective Brutality. I think they're so 4 Inquisition, 3 Goryo's Vengeance.
3 Goryos is a lot for only 6 targets.
Yes, but the thing is, right, is like it's part of winning the game on the spot, right?
Yeah. So this is a lot more all in on the combo than I thought it was.
Yeah, no, this is definitely like a slightly. Oh wow, this Pestermite too. Wow, so that might is he playing 4 Exarch then? Because I don't know if I would play Pestermite without playing 4 Exarch first.
Right. So this is actually okay. So this is like
this is an actual combo deck, Dan.
Right. I thought this was just grixis with like here's
some stuff.
Here's like a cute win con, but this is just actually like twin.
Yeah, no, this is like he is actively trying to do this, but that in my mind, I kind of like Faithless Looting a lot more than.
But you never played Faithless Looting. I guess like obviously you didn't play Faithless Looting twin because you had no graveyard nonsense to get back. But yeah, I mean, this is like certainly seems fine. Like your mana base is a little shakier because like
Okay, so he does have it. Looks like he has the full 4 Exarch. Yeah, this is really great because he's laying it out sort of thematically.
Okay.
Okay, I think I just like want more discard outlets to put my Kiki-Jiki in there, but you can also like as we saw, he is sometimes able to hard cast that.
Yeah.
So we have up on the it's Kiki-Jiki.
Snap.
No, it's
those are deceiver.
No, those are Kolaghan's commands. It's so the cards, guys, that are blocked out by glare right now. So across the top row, it goes it's Kolaghan's commands, and then to the right of that are the remands. So it's Bolt, Vengeance, Jace, Kiki, Kolaghan's remands, and now he's laying out the mana base on the bottom too. Really, I sort of like the visual style here, via aesthetic. Wow, so it looks like 9 fetches, 3 shocks.
Only 3. Oh wow! So he was actually like running really low.
Well, so he's got so he doesn't have a lot of fetchable sources. He's got the Cliffs, the Cairns. Cairns serving much the same purpose as Cascade Bluffs in a Jeskai deck.
Yeah. So interestingly, no manlands. So like we can't even go Creeping Tar Pit.
Yeah.
Beats.
For sure. Yeah, and I mean, good layout by him, but this is really interesting. I think it's a cool take on like the idea of Glorious
Yeah, absolutely.
Vengeance.
And Greg always known in the area for just bringing a spicy deck. Yeah, I definitely like it. I didn't realize I didn't realize if we were going to Gristlebrand route. I didn't know like maybe there's a splash white source and now we've got like unburial rights for stuff. But no, this looks like a pretty all in on the Kiki Pestermine combo with Gore's Vengeance, buyback Jaces, and Kiki-Jikis.
Buyback Jace, flip your Jace, buyback your Goryos.
Oh, wow.
It works.
It's a 4-mana dream, yeah. That seems insane.
Right? Like, have a Planeswalker and a Kiki-Jiki. Yeah, so that looks like a pretty cool deck. We'll let everyone take a look at it. If you want to see it more, we do post the VODs to our YouTube channel. It's MTGCard space market. If you Google Wednesday Night Modern, it gets you closer. Our search engine optimization is not exactly we haven't really cracked the first 2 or 3 results on Google yet. Those are still like older videos from the stream. But if you find the channel, it'll be the most recent ones. Wednesday Night Modern, that sort of thing. So.
Yeah, and with that, we'll throw it back to the booth. If you want to take a screenshot, if you're interested in the deck list, that would be great. But yeah, definitely an exciting take on
Goryo's Vengeance and Kiki-Jiki, and it combos off like twin. Like, come on, can't hate. Yeah, so we'll throw it back to the booth now. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us through some of our earlier technical issues tonight. We're really glad that the stream worked out and we got to cast for you guys. So yeah. Thanks, everyone. So also, to note, so next week the stream is going to run as normal.
But next week will also be the last stream of the year.
Right.
We will be taking the last 2 Wednesdays of the year off.
Yeah, so we will be here next week. We will not be here the 2 weeks after that, but we will be here January 4th, I believe, is the next. Yes, so it's next week. Take some time off, then January 4th. Thanks for sticking with us, everyone. We really love doing this stream, and we're happy that you guys have kept following it as we sort of revived it at start of this school year, roughly. So have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, and yeah.